Shut up! Howdy, everybody, and welcome. I'm on here solo tonight because Uncle Bill's a fucking pussy. I'm going to start cussing him out right now. Fuck him. The son of a bitch said he was going to be here, and I haven't seen him yet. So fuck you, Uncle Bill, you piece of trash. Maybe he'll come in later. I don't know. Maybe he's got some internet issues again. I'm not really sure. But we do have a very special guest who has his own damn theme song. Let's get it ready here, boss. Y'all ready to get wet tonight because we've got YouTube icon Brandon Mitchell, aka Wetmovie1.
Icon?
You're a fucking icon.
What the hell are you talking about, boss?
Got your own damn theme song, man. Ain't nobody else.
Yeah, that's cool, but like that word icon, that's some weird shit. Okay.
We're just gonna play that all night.
Mm-hmm.
So, horror roundtable tonight. And it's Halloween season.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about some stuff we're watching or some stuff we plan on watching, stuff we've already watched. And the link is on the Patreon page. And for YouTube members, I put it up on there as well. If people want to join in and join us, we already got 75 people in here checking us out live a little bit early. So,
damn.
Good shit. What you been up to, man?
A lot of stuff. I wish Uncle Bill was here, that pussy. I need to talk to him about some stuff that went down yesterday at a convention I was at.
Speaking of pussies.
Oh, there he is.
You're already in here, buddy.
Uh-huh. Okay,
no, you're in here now.
You weren't here a couple minutes
Uncle
ago.
Bill, everybody. And Carter,
Wait.
we'll welcome him back. He just come back on here. I don't know what happened, but welcome. Sir.
Yeah,
He passed out
my
full
tin
locos.
can internet.
Yeah. Well, I know this is a horror roundtable, so this is horror related. And I went to a convention yesterday to meet a very special person that Uncle Bill met a couple months ago. And to get prepared for the convention to go, I watched Uncle Bill's live stream that he did, talking about meeting this person and his experience at this convention to meet said person. And my experience wasn't as crazy as his or anything like that, with like big long waits and things like that. Well, waits, I did wait because I got there early because I'm a schmuck, so I didn't want to wait all day. But I met Sam Raimi yesterday, and I know Uncle Bill met him. Another friend of mine met him 2 or 3 months ago. Oh boy, he was nice. He was cool. But what I'm complaining about here is the autograph prices.
Oh no.
We all know how autograph prices were, you know, when we first started going to conventions. You know what I mean? $5 to maybe $20, $40 at the most. And I regret not getting Betsy Palmer and other cool people that I could have gotten for $40, but I never did because I'm stupid. But I know Uncle Bill paid like $75 for an autograph with Sam Raimi or something like that. And a friend of mine, a couple months later, paid like $90 for Sam Raimi. Oh, no. He wasn't that for me.
It's different prices for different states. In the West Coast,
Yeah, you
everything's
got
more.
the inflation. You got the
Mhm.
inflation tax.
No, but he was a cool $100 for my ass. And I don't know, man. The experience was cool, but he did have like Secret Service people with him, like Uncle Bill said in his live show that he did. Like there was these guys like, no pictures, no videos in here, nothing at his table, blah 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 this, blah 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 that. We're gonna take things off your, There was people like snapping pictures of him signing stuff, like from afar, and like security guy would rush up to these people and like delete them off their phones right in front of them. Like, give me your phone. I'm taking that shit off your fucking phone.
That'd
I'm
be
like,
Wow.
I'm like, what is going on here? But my friend happened to do it, and like, got it, whatever. We got a slight little clip and a little random picture of him
Well,
signing.
they want to make sure you pay more for the photo because the combo.
Yeah. I didn't do the photo op, but that was another $120 or some shit. I'm like, no,
okay,
I'm good. But so I met Sam Raimi yesterday, got him on my poster and on my little movie clapboard thing. But god damn it, I have problems. People help me.
$100.
Yeah.
Give me 100, motherfucker.
That is wild, though, man. Like I would figure they would keep their prices around the same at least for the year or something.
No,
they change it everywhere they go.
Big Macs are priced differently out there in the West Coast too. Everything's high.
There was a couple of other guests in appearance there too that didn't have anybody in their lines. You know what I mean? There were some of them are cool people, like Devin
Virgil.
I met before, a cool guy, but like and what's his name? That guy, Mekhi Phifer from like I Still Know What You Did Last Summer and 8 Mile and stuff like that. But like they had no people at their lines, and their prices were like $70. I'm like, no shit, they don't have no.
I pass on Mekhi Phifer. Fuck you. I was thinking about doing Scarefest this year, but I just looked at the price and like I was talking to a buddy of mine, Crater, another Eastern Kentucky boy. He was excited because he got the Final Girls photo op, and it was only $230. I'm like, are you fucking kidding? Are you kidding me? Yeah, it's a hell of a price, man. $230.
So, what are they charging? Because I still don't know. What are they charging for autographs?
I think the base price is $40, unless it's like Richard Dreyfuss or something's like $100.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's about how it is nowadays. Like I'd pay that for the 3 that I don't have.
Have you guys?
I'm not gonna get any photo ops. Fuck it.
Have you guys real quick ever seen a recent interview with Richard Dreyfuss? He's like zanned out of his mind 24/7.
Yeah.
I think it was Bill Maher's podcast. He was like slowly slithering out of his like chair the whole time to the point where he was like, and just like on and on, like zoning in and out and shit. It's pretty sad.
So is it dementia or is it like?
I think he's on just like heavy prescriptions.
Yeah,
because he's like up there, and he's up there in age too. So
like, there's always a family member with him watching over him, kind of like Reggie Bannister is kind of not doing the greatest these days, and his wife's like always there, like making sure, like, hey, Reggie, sign, make sure you sign here, all that jazz.
I'm guessing Gary Busey doesn't have anybody that gives a fuck about him because he goes by himself and fucking gets in trouble with the law and everything.
Nobody wants to be groped. That's why they avoid his line.
Yeah. Oh, man,
allegedly. Sorry. Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
Yeah, nothing's been proven. But welcome, guys. The first roundtable type show we've done in a couple months. First one we've had Brendan on in a long time. I think I was scared that we'd run you off it last time Metal Man was on here and he was drunk off his ass.
I'm not scared of that pussy.
He was threatening to do some sexual things to you.
He'll probably be in here soon.
We don't appreciate that.
That was a wild ass stream, man. I just watched that again the other day. I was in that stream just.
Yeah.
I think at one point everybody's mouth was on the floor.
Yeah, pretty close to getting us kicked off of YouTube by Brian Andrew Pietrowski, you motherfucker. Listens to fake Pantera all day. Fuck you, buddy. If you
just watch, if you just zoom in and watch Garrett's reaction, that entire segment, it's the funniest shit ever.
The best.
Yeah. Hey, Carter, have you checked out some of Garrett's late night streams? He's toking it up right before the fucking stream.
He's got to be.
Look at his eyes.
I know. I noticed.
He can bullshit all he wants to, but that ain't sleep right there. It's somebody that's hiring a damn kite on something. Some of that golden flower shit or whatever they call it, Uncle Bill.
Cheech and Chong's golden showers.
Yeah. Golden flower shower.
I think him
Hey,
and
real
Steve should
quick
do
though.
a stream together.
Real quick though. So you went to H45. Did you
Yes.
not? So
Yes.
tell me about that. Like, what was that show like?
I was only there for a few hours because I worked half the day, and then I was able to leave early only because my boss wanted me to get him something signed. That's the only reason I was able to get there. But I was in line for Nick Castle for like 3 hours, which was stupid for Nick Castle. Like, what am I doing in my life? But it was pretty chill. And the guy from Halloween Ends had one of the biggest lines next to Nick Castle and stuff.
Who? The fucking Corey Cunningham guy?
Yes.
Fuck that guy. Jesus.
That was his convention debut, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
they're probably all there getting shit signed for Garrett.
Yeah.
Was Tony Moran hanging out in the parking lot?
I was talking to Sean Clark about that in the video.
So killer.
He wasn't though, but I brought that up in the video.
He's tailgating with photos and shit. He's got a folding table.
Him and Fancy Nancy.
Hey, Nancy from Scream.
Oh man, it was pretty fun. I mean, like I said, most of my time there was spent in line for Nick Castle for my boss, but I was able to squeeze out a video out of that. Which is like,
man,
my number one thing to do is when I go to places like that.
You know what's wild to me? It just dawned on me. Like when I was a kid and first started getting into slasher movies was around this time, fall of like 03. And it's when that Halloween 25 Years of Terror was big. It's just, man, time has passed by so fast because it seems like that was only like 10 years ago and it's already 20 years because, it's 45 this year. It's just, it's wild to me.
And I don't know if you guys, sorry, I'm getting off topic a little bit, but still Halloween related. I don't know if you guys have seen my Halloween 45 Years of Terror video, but did you guys know that Daig from Rob Zombie's Halloween is a rapper?
Yes.
Yeah, we saw some of that shit.
I see it.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Wait.
I just made that up. But you were doing like a solo performance out here. I was. And I missed it. Do you think you can maybe bust a small freestyle?
Please do.
I'm like a metaphor of walking in a bank with a mask. Guns out, hands up, and I'm ready to dance. Give me all your money, dummy, into the bag. Your girl, a little funny bunny, breaking her back. All up on my jock with a couple of friends. Too lean, too fat, that's 5 of them. Started getting real freaky and excited when one had a man who pulled up in a Benz. So I did from the joint and I ran real fast. Pulled on my pants, but I forgot a joint. So I tiptoed back. And well, I'll be damned, they were playing my music. Guess he's a fan.
And that was it. Well, okay.
I think I could have done better than that on the fly. I'm pretty sure.
I know.
He did there's a video he did with his mom where she was the rapper or whatever.
Huh.
And that's on his, I think it's on his YouTube page. That's the one that I seen.
Funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what her stage name was, but that was his mom because she was, when we met him, she was at his table taking the money and shit.
Yeah. She was at his table at age 45 too.
If you guys interviewed him today, would it be like the Ari Lehman interview where he kept bringing up that he was in a shitty death metal band? Like
yes, he would continuously bring up rapping. I guarantee it. Yeah, that'd be the only thing he talk about.
Yeah.
Guys,
I got a new
doesn't look
CD
like a rapper.
Dropping. Nah.
No.
He kind of looks like Lily Rose Depp, doesn't he? Like Johnny Depp's daughter. I mean, I'm dead serious.
He kind of does. Now that you mention it,
I was thinking it the whole time, and I'm like,
he's just such an odd person to have at that show because he was had 5 minutes of fame and that one role and I mean you never see him with anything else anymore at all.
Was John Carpenter there?
John Carpenter did show up.
There's a story.
You think John Carpenter was like, who the fuck is this?
You know he was. He pulled a fucking Jamie Lee Curtis on him.
John only showed up for a random Q&A, one of the last Q&As to close out the show. I wasn't there to see it. But then he walked the floor. And I saw videos of people trying to mob around him and try to get stuff signed, and he wasn't signing or doing shit for nobody. He just went there to hang out with Nick Castle and some of the 78 cast.
Yeah, I'm guessing, I was telling Uncle Bill, I bet he didn't get paid. I bet he just showed up and was like, what the hell?
Yeah, and I heard that when he was doing his Q&A for a little bit, after a short time, he's just like, okay, guys, I'm bored. I'm leaving. And then that was it.
Okay, here's my thing, though.
He had to go play some Xbox.
Wouldn't you, out of all the people, wouldn't you want that to be one of the main guys to be there? Why couldn't they get him to sign anything?
No. I know.
That's
Like,
a bizarre.
he was at New York Comic Con this week or this weekend or last weekend or whatever it was, charging $125 per autograph. So why couldn't he just do the same thing there?
Yeah, that is kind of weird. I mean, the only thing I'm thinking is they didn't have any sort of deal with him to sign or something. Maybe I don't know.
But you know what I don't understand is because he's at New York Comic Con, whatever that was this weekend or whatever. But this coming Sunday, I'm going to be seeing him. Like I see him annually once a year at Golden Apple Comics. If you get there enough time to get your ticket and whatever you got to do, all you have to do is buy his new comic book or whatever.
That's a giant ticket.
Yeah, it's like you buy it for $50 and you get his comic book and he signs the book and one extra item for people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so it's like an annual thing I try to do now. It's been like that for like 6-7 years.
Scott Russ in the house.
Hello. I don't want to interrupt. Keep talking. I was listening to you. I actually watched your video. That was a good video too.
Oh, thanks, man. But
I like that.
This
man asked John Carpenter what he thought about Halloween Ends.
I did that. I think I asked him that already, didn't I?
Oh, okay. I guess that was an older video that I saw.
Yeah.
I just saw it recently.
Stuntman had to get his green screen ready. There we go.
Oh, wait.
I'm always ready, buddy.
Is that your real background?
Oh yeah, that's real, man.
Okay, cool. Then why do you always put the weird background then? Oh, that looks fine.
Oh, it's a green screen.
Is it?
Listen,
This
you don't want to know about the real background.
Yeah. It's probably like a weird sex dungeon or something.
It's like that one scene in Scarface.
Oh, it's like people under the stairs. I got bodies hanging and shit.
He's got gimps. He's got a collection of gimps.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So anyway, this is kind of like a roundtable's always just anything goes, but since it is October, a lot of you guys have been watching stuff. I've been watching stuff. Throw out some recommendations or stuff that you've watched this year, stuff that you're planning on watching, just kind of anything goes, horror movie or spooky season related.
Outwaters followed by Skinamarink all the way. Do it. Watch both those back to back.
I literally right before I came on here just finished watching John Carpenter's episode of the Suburban Screams show. He only directed the very last episode. It's called like The Phone Call or something. And I'm just sad, man. I mean, Ghost of Mars was bad enough, but now I'm just like,
well, he was phoning it in. He was just letting everybody know that's why he named it The Phone Call.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of cool that he did the music and stuff, so that was cool. And there was some I don't know, you could tell the cinematographer had watched John Carpenter. There was anamorphic lenses with lens flare, and it every once in a while looked like a John Carpenter show, but it was like, I don't know. I mean, even if it was good, you ultimately all it is John Carpenter directing an episode of Unsolved Mysteries, and it was just like,
what are you going to do?
No reason to watch it. So.
That's on like, is it Peacock? Is that the channel it's on?
I think it's on Plex.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm never gonna watch that.
Yeah, it was bad. It's just depressing.
Like every time I try to watch something new, I just get depressed. I tried to watch that Pet Cemetery Bloodline shit, and I was just like, "Good God, man! Like, how boring and shitty are they purposely trying to like make stuff just as drawn out and uninteresting as humanly possible now? Because that's what it seems like."
That sucks. I was hoping that was kind of over the top, like it looked ridiculous, and I was kind of hoping that's what they were going for. But it's just bad, huh?
Anybody seen the new Creep show yet? I know Haddonfield Slasher mentioned it.
No,
I have not yet. No.
I think they're one episode in right now, and they're actually airing it on AMC this year as well, which is pretty cool. They're doing the Joe Bob thing on AMC, and which, I mean, I think it's a good idea, especially for October. They're doing the Fear Fest thing anyway, so it makes sense.
We did watch Mike Flanagan's Fall of the House of Usher, and I enjoyed that a lot. Definitely worth checking out. It's shorter this time around. It's only 8 episodes.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I haven't heard a whole lot about that, but it just dropped on the 13th as well, right?
I think the Thursday the 12th.
Thursday the 12th. Yeah. One movie that I recently watched again for the first time in a long time that I wanted to mention on here is the new 4K of Rosemary's Baby, which I'm going to do like a full-on review of it. But I hadn't seen this movie in so long, man. And the 4K is fantastic, by the way, if anybody's interested. I know it's in that Paramount Scares box set as well, which I think Uncle Bill's picking that version up. What?
I'm picking that version of.
Yeah, didn't you say he's getting the box set, the Paramount, because Sweeney Todd will go?
Yeah, because Sweeney Todd's in it. That's what I'm looking forward to the most.
But man, this one
Johnny
like
Depp musicals. That's what gets me hard.
This is like 1968. It really like it could be a stage play. Like, did anybody try to do a stage play of this? Because it's all pretty much in one location. And as far as the rule of what you don't see make things scary, or like Texas Chainsaw and stuff like that. You don't see shit in this movie at all. Like, they don't show anything. And it builds tension like better than almost any movie I can think of from that time period, or at least, the 60s and the 70s. And you don't see a fucking thing. It's just acting, So I don't know if they could make a movie like this today. Probably not.
No, it wouldn't go over well with today's audiences. That would be a for sure flop today.
They've tried to make it about 15 different times, really.
I mean, it's a good movie and all, but I mean, I don't know. It's never been one of my favorites. I think The Exorcist is the way better movie of that. Like, it's just once you know that it's the devil that pregnates her, it's just like stalling out for like an hour, and it's like, we get it, all right. They're all against her. It's a cult. Like, Jesus Christ, get to the point. I know that's like an unpopular opinion, but I've never been a fan.
I never loved it either.
It's a great looking movie. Don't get me wrong, and the acting's good. It's just like,
how dare you? How fucking dare you?
I don't know. I mean, I was really impressed with it, and like I said, it'd been the first time I'd seen it probably in 15 years at least.
Now, Wes, you said that Sarah was watching it with you. What'd she think?
She was into it pretty much the whole time. I mean, she's one person that's not going to put anything over that much unless she really, really, really loves it. But yeah, I mean, I think she liked it. Super sticker, boys. What in the hell does that mean? I still don't know what a super sticker is, but thank you, Evil Abe.
Oh yeah, when it comes to Rosemary's Baby, I remember I think I had the Criterion and I sold it for like $90 or $100 on my eBay at one point. But that was back in print, so no one cares. I'm glad I got rid of it when I did.
Matt, what's going on, dude?
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Buddy. Go.
Yeah, buddy.
Here's my analogy for the night. I think that The Exorcist is like AC/DC and Rosemary's Baby is like Pink Floyd. That's kind of the way I view those. Like, Exorcist just comes right fucking at you. To whereas like Rosemary's Baby is much more like background, kind of subtle. There's stuff going on you don't really notice, like, until the very end. It all kind of culminates. That's my analogy for the night. I'm done.
That's
I
true.
can't use any more brain cells.
Yeah, because like I definitely Pink
done.
Floyd takes you a long time to get there, but it's the ride, man. While you're on it, right? There you go.
Oh, yeah.
That's right, Daddy-O.
Got a lot of people
I tell you
in
a
the
movie
chat.
like
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say I'll tell you a movie very similar to that I think tried to rip that, at least that there was this whole time period in the 70s after Rosemary's Baby came out where there were all these different movies that had like where the town was in on some shit, or the people around you were in on some shit. Like, there was a whole kind of subgenre of movies like that. Dead and Buried is one of them that comes to mind. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the remake, the Wicker Man, like all those kind of movies. So like, I feel like that kind of created like its own little subgenre of stuff that I hadn't seen that much. Maybe like the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers was kind of like that, but not really, because it was like, that's like aliens versus like a satanic cult kind of thing.
By the way, real quick, did you guys get the 4K of the Wicker Man yet?
I get it tomorrow, apparently.
I'm still waiting on mine to come in.
It's crazy. I got mine like a week ago, the Steelbook. But anyway, I watched the final cut of it. I'd never seen the final cut. I hate that version. It sucks, man. It like kills the pacing in a movie completely. And it's like the added scenes in the final cut it's like the same quality of that Rip of the Devils I gave you guys with all the added in scenes. It's like they couldn't get the right film for it, so it looks like the Martin 4K. Like it looks beautiful, and then it's so obvious when it goes to these added scenes, and it's just like not on top of it not looking good. The pacing in the movie is just like throw it off completely.
How much longer does it make the film? Like half an hour or
like between a half an hour, 15 minutes, somewhere around there. But like the whole Christopher Lee's introduction is like this weird scene that's like not very like it's really a nothing scene. And as opposed to the original and the director's cut, it builds up to like the halfway points when you're introduced to his character. And then it's just, I don't know, it's a bunch of weird like scenes with people like playing guitar in a circle, look like, you know, something out of Woodstock, and it just go on and on forever, and it's just so padded out. I was like really disappointed.
Most of the time,
the picture of it looks great.
Theatrical cut's the way to go 99% of the time to me. Like I can't really think offhand of any director's cut that I like better than the theatrical.
Is that the version you're talking about? Is that the Best Buy Steelbook cut?
Is it the one with it's the Wicker Man and it's like kind of purplish? Because I got mine from Amazon UK like a while ago before they released it in the US.
I think
it's like let me see. I got it.
The only one I have is the one I have pre-ordered is the Best Buy Steelbook, and I don't remember what cut is on that, so I'm not really sure.
This
but
one right here?
I think it's something. No, that's not the one from Best Buy. It's the
okay.
It looks almost like a Midsummer kind of cover to it. Stuntman, I think you said you pre-ordered that one too.
Yeah, it's a lot more colorful than that one, or I guess I should say bright colors. I did see that steelbook
flip cover.
This one was from the UK. I bought this before they announced the US one, but as much as I put down the cut of the movie, the scenes from the original look amazing in 4K. Like they really do. So I definitely. I'd like to watch the theatrical version again because I think that movie, the pacing of it is just way, way better than the final.
Is the contents the same on the Best Buy version, or because that's the one I'm getting? I don't know if it's the same, like two different cuts of the movie or what.
So this one has 3 cuts: the theatrical, the director's cut, and the final cut. Final cut gets its own disc. The theatrical and directors are on the second disc, and then there's a third disc. I don't know what it is. Yeah, this
you can't really see it, but it's like the pink.
Let's see if we can solo it out there.
It looks nice.
Yeah,
it is a nice set too. I was like,
it's very Eastery.
Has there been any reviews of that yet, or anything? Or I haven't seen any. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's different content than the one that Carter has, or.
So this says it's the final cut.
Okay, the final cut's the version I saw that I was kind of like not. They have some stuff in it that definitely didn't get past the censors, which is cool, but it's equaled out with like just pointless filler that just kills the pace.
Oh God! So it's not got the theatrical cut on it.
The cover says the final cut, so I don't know.
Damn it!
The theatrical cut, I can't remember if the director's cut. I don't remember it being too much different than theatrical. The theatrical's way better.
It's the final cut.
See, like
for me, probably going to hang on to that and resell it.
There's like it starts off with like a weird 1-minute scene where the main character's getting communion at a Catholic church, but it doesn't really like establish anything. It's like they barely shot a scene and then scrapped it because it's just a 1-minute brief scene, and that like starts the movie. So it like starts the movie off on a weird wrong foot, as opposed to the theatrical where you're just riding in it. He's in the plane, he lands in the water. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just weird.
Yeah, like,
and then there's like some shit like there's a whole weird scene where Christopher Lee is like talking like about his grand evil scheme pretty much early on in the movie, like, and it's like interluded with like beetles crawling on like grass and stuff. Like it's out there.
It's artsy.
Yeah, man. Sometimes the director is too self-indulgent, most of the time with these cuts. And they said this is the director's preferred version, and I don't like it.
Real quick though, can I take like a moment to talk about Best Buy and Has anybody bought anything directly from Best Buy recently? Because they have one of the shittiest shipping practices I have ever seen in my life. They sent
Fuck
a
Best Buy.
fucking steelbook in a box that was big enough to like house a record player, and that was
That's-
all that was in it.
That's what they did to me. Yeah.
Was a steelbook.
There was no padding.
There's no
bubble
padding
wrap,
in it.
Nothing.
So-
It's fucking cardboard box.
I was amazed that it was not
Yeah.
like bent all the fuck. Like when
What
I got it out
steelbook
there.
was it?
It was the Pumpkinhead Best
Mm.
Buy exclusive one. Which
Last year
I
they,
watched recently.
I ordered the Heat Steelbook last year, and it came in just smashed, like bent inwards.
I could see how, like Jesus.
And I could not find that in the stores anywhere near me at all. So I had to like rebuy it again, and then return it.
Well,
and buy
that's one
something
thing
else.
that you guys won't have to worry
Yes.
about much longer.
Yeah, I know, right? Target, Best Buy,
Yeah.
that's they're done, son. It's all gonna be Walmart exclusives.
Maybe this is what they're doing now, though. Whit. Maybe they're just like, "Ah, fuck it, we're going out anyway. Let's just throw all this shit in like any box we can find,
Yeah.
whatever we got laying around, and send it these assholes."
I was told that there may be fire sales at these locations.
I would have to imagine.
That'll be interesting to
You
see.
you don't think that the like Best Buy or like Scream Factories, you'd be like, yo, send us our shit back?
Screen Factory probably would.
Yeah, they
Like that's what I was thinking. Like some of these
1000%.
send it back to us.
Somebody was telling me, I don't know if it's true or not, though, that Cliff from Scream Factory was hired by Arrow Video. Did you guys hear about that?
No, I haven't.
I didn't even know he was not with them anymore or whatever.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
But I mean,
So
it
they
kinda
must have
makes
really
sense.
cleaned house there at Scheme Factory. Get some new schemers in there.
Nothing's really changed. It's all the same, basically.
So, Uncle Bill, what have you been watching?
I'll tell you what I watched recently, and again, and I'm starting to be convinced that this may be one of the greatest little known, like campy horror films from this time period that's out there. And that is Annie Lee's Meat Pies. Listen, upon second viewing of this movie, which I've watched it now twice in the past 6 months, I'm just going to tell you, man, this movie has it all. Pat Morita as a sheriff with a horrible, like, Southern accent, like 4 basically penthouse playmates that are halfway new throughout the whole thing, black lights, cages,
Black Life, baby.
gore, Michael Berryman with no teeth in that scares the shit out of me. Just anything you can think of that should not be in a movie or that's too odd to be in a movie is in this movie. So I highly recommend.
I still haven't seen that. I need to finally just.
You've not seen this yet?
No, I haven't watched it.
I was
Dude,
about
Oh,
to
it's
say,
on Tubi.
about to say y'all shit on a movie for 2 years straight.
yeah, we shit on the title, but then I watched it and I was
Is
like,
Annie Lee's Meat Pie, Daddy?
I was wrong.
You should have known when like old Curly Jaws gave it a 5-star review back in the day on this old channel.
I mean, if you're looking for that type of movie, it's the perfect movie. It really is. Like, I mean, it's nothing, it's not serious or significant or anything, but in terms of like a movie that you want to hang out with people and like watch and put on or something
Yeah.
like that, like that's the movie.
Is that a
Right there.
Thanksgiving movie, Uncle Bill? You watch
No.
it around Thanksgiving?
I mean, you could, it has nothing to do with things.
Bog Zombie said he's saving it for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So
We were just watching Frankenhooker last night before bed. It sounds sort of like that same kind of vibe.
It is.
Cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think that, yeah, I mean, now that I think about it, more and more it is kind of like Frankenhooker because, like, a lot of scantily clad women, a lot of gore gags. It's more of a slasher, I guess, than Frankenhooker, but that's about it, really. And Pat Morita as a sheriff who
That sounds awesome.
for some reason has a katana in his office that he threatens people with.
it's got like porn stars or something in it too, right? Like 80s porn stars.
Yeah, it's got Terry Weigel in it from the 80s, but the rest of them are just like in-house pets or something.
That's great.
Yeah, Karen Black, you know.
Karen Black
yeah.
is, which by the way, that's supposed to be Karen Black. If you ever noticed the cover of this, whoever
Oh,
did
yeah,
that,
yeah.
that looks
Yeah.
nothing like Karen Black. Like,
Maybe Karen Black back in like the late 60s or something. Maybe.
It's what you wish she looked like.
it's a reimagining
Yeah.
cover, I guess.
So what did everybody think of The Exorcist Believer?
Didn't see it.
Loved it.
Did not see it.
I believe you haven't watched it.
It's the best movie of 2023. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I thought your favorite was the Taylor Swift concert movie.
Well, goddamn, I haven't seen it yet.
Bullshit. Oh no, you saw it in person. That's what it was.
That's true. Yeah.
Hey, listen, don't ruin it for him.
That Taylor
Don't ruin
Swift
the ending.
made like $97 million opening weekend. I fucking like, goddamn, boys, has she not got enough money yet, or what?
I think it's one of the most profitable like concert movies in a long time.
And the thing is, it's not put out by a studio. It's directly from her and her people, and AMC let her, play that stuff. So it's like all pure profits.
It was originally supposed to be just a limited thing, right? For just like 2 or 3 days, and only
Asylum events, kind of weird thing or something.
Yeah, and then people were like demanding it, and dude, like people can talk all they want about Taylor Swift and make fun of it and shit, but is there anybody in history of music that's been as popular as her? I mean, if you really sit and think about it, it's fucking scary.
Yeah, I mean,
she has more hits. She has actually more hits than the Beatles because life is just.
She's fucking 33, 34 years old.
Imagine if she and like Elon Musk and all those assholes decided we're gonna do something good for the world and fucking cure hunger, cure cancer. Now I need another pool.
Right.
I'm not gonna say that I hate Taylor Swift, but I'm really over Taylor Swift. Like in terms of like, I don't need to hear any of those fucking songs anymore. I'm good. I think pretty much forever now. Like about Taylor Swift.
She's still going to release about 3 or 4 albums a year though for you.
Yeah, she'll keep getting into relationships. This guy right here that she's with right now, that fucking football player or whatever, he has no idea. That'd be a whole album.
Yeah, it's at least an album or two of material.
Damn, did this show just turn into the talk right now?
Yes. Turn into this is the View now.
Yeah, man. The View is skew.
You know what? Yeah.
All right, so Wet Movie, we're going around. What have you watched lately?
Okay, one of the things I'm going to talk about here is not horror related. I mean, there's murder and stuff in it, but I've been watching this Poker Face with Natasha Lyonne, and it's actually pretty cool. You know what I mean? I'm not like the best thing on the planet, but I've always kind of thought she was kind of interesting in different movies and Slums of Beverly Hills and shit. And it's like her like solving mysteries and stuff. It's kind of a fun little like whodunit.
She kind of made a comeback, right? Because she wasn't doing anything there for a long time. Had like a drug addiction or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, she was homeless at one point until she got like American Pie, or actually she was homeless right after American Pie, and then she got some other work and stuff.
I've always really liked. I mean, I've not seen that show, but anytime that she's on anything, I mean, I always really like her. I think she does a good job.
That was actually on my list to watch for a long time. I haven't actually watched it. It's good to hear that it's worth watching.
Yeah.
Is that fucking her in Scary Movie 2?
Yeah, at the beginning. Yeah,
that's
her.
Yeah, it was Reagan.
Mm-hmm.
That's what, I don't know why. I always associate her with that movie.
She was also in the Dennis the Menace movie. She was the babysitter. That might have been her first movie or something, or one of her.
And she's in Freeway 2.
Yeah. But there's this other thing I just watched recently. This is horror related. I just want to put a Poker Face because it's something I've been working myself through. But this one, my friend got a bootleg of it, and then he watched it. He's like, I don't want it. You do take it. My buddy Aaron, and then I watched it, and I was going, I still don't even know what to think about it. You know what I mean? Because I've never been the biggest fan of this franchise, but I appreciate or at least the first two. But this is the new Hellraiser. I'm like, with a girl or whatever you want to call it.
How'd you get that? That's not even on Blu-ray, is it?
I don't know. It's like one of those like bootleg ass sites that like makes them, I guess.
Oh.
And that's where my buddy got
perfectly legal, legit.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It was kind of disappointing, but it had its moments.
Who was it that was that HBO that released that, or
was it Hulu on there?
Hulu,
okay.
Yeah.
I get confused with all those. I tried watching it, man.
It sucks.
I know I did watch it. I don't hold back anything about it.
Oh,
yeah,
terrible.
I tried. I mean, Hellraiser is one of those weird series where I really love the first 3.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I'm like, what? It just goes everywhere, nowhere.
You need to add the fourth one in there. Add some love for the fourth one. Look, Mark knows what's up.
Speaking of which, I got shipping notice on that Hellraiser set today.
I look forward to that one. Yeah.
Orbit just posted earlier today that they had them in hand now, so I'm super pumped for that. I think that's like my number one something to look forward to.
That's one for sure. Yeah, I want to make Sarah watch because she like hates that first movie. She's like, it's fucking. I'm not watching that again. It's gross.
It's gross.
That is a tough sell.
But speaking of bootlegs, I mean, it looked just fine. And I'm just looking at the thing. The bootleg has an alternate cover.
Hell yeah!
I'm like,
I think I love that cover.
Bootleg
I like
right
that cover better, man.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know. It was just kind of like a time waster kind of movie, to be honest with you.
I wasn't.
I don't remember a damn thing about it now. It's just kind of boring.
Yeah, I don't remember anything. Same with that Texas Chainsaw.
I do remember him being out in the fucking daisies or something in that.
The thing I remember about that is I photoshopped him in the Teletubbies. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? This looks just like he's running around with that goddamn baby son in the sky.
That's confusing.
You guys did like a. You guys did like a stream. What was that? It was like a weird one-off stream where it was connected to Netflix. Do you remember that, CK, where we had like a chat and shit with Steve?
Yeah, what was that called? I think Steve.
I can't remember. It was fun
or something like that.
We were just shitting on the movie the whole time in a chat.
Yeah.
It was like Garrett.
Well,
was
what else
was
you
great.
do?
Garrett
probably loved it though secretly.
That'd be awesome.
No, Garrett hated it. Like we all were just shitting on it from like 10 minutes in. You could tell it was just not worth a fuck.
I always love it when Garrett's thing is like he goes, "I didn't have a problem with it." I'm like, didn't you? That's his line. Like, really? You didn't have a problem with it? Like he said that about Exorcist Believer.
Well,
if
entertained, Garrett shits on a movie, if he says it's shit, then
it's gotta be the worst
goddamn,
fucking
boys,
thing.
it's bad.
Yep.
Yeah, that was. Whew.
There were some like shots in that Hellraiser Hulu movie that I thought were cool. Like there were like 10 or 15 second increments of that movie that I thought this isn't too bad. But then like the movie as a whole just kind of was so forgettable.
I think Bruckner's a good director. He did The Ritual, which I love.
Yeah,
he did probably the best story in VHS. He's a good director. It's just that the movie was bland and like I'm saying, if you're a Hellraiser movie, you got to be like dirty. You got to be like perverse. It's Hellraiser, right?
That's
you got to be. The first movie has a shot of just maggots and a roach crawling on stuff next to a statue of people having sex, like a little mini statue. That one shot says all you need to know about the franchise. Like that's what it's supposed to be. And that remake was just so safe and sanitized. It was like it just betrayed the whole essence of what Hellraiser is, in my opinion.
Hey, speaking of Hellraiser, and also going back to director's cuts, has anybody ever watched the director's cut of Nightbreed, and is it worth watching?
I've watched it.
It's been a long time. I can't.
I saw the original in the theater.
Well, there's a couple of cuts. So there's the Cabal cut, which is different from the director's cut, right? So the Cabal cut's never been released. The director's cut is what Scream Factory brought.
Well, you have to go to Clive Barker's house and
I think there's a bootleg
and shit to see this thing.
I think you can get a bootleg.
Conventions of the Cabal.
Whichever cut has more of Cronenberg's character, that's the cut to watch.
Yeah,
he's like he kind of carries the movie in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
You know when he doesn't carry a movie is in Jason X.
Jason X. Oh god, that's the most random ass scene ever. That'd be like if David Fincher showed up in Saw X.
Yeah. It was crazy too. I don't remember what it was, but I was half watching Star Trek, one of these new shows, and then Cronenberg shows up. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is insane to me.
Dude, I was on my Facebook scrolling through, and there was like a clothing line, like sunglasses, scarf, and it was David Cronenberg like posing for it. And I was like,
wow,
what? Yeah, it was bizarre. It had like nothing to do with horror. It was just an ad for like some clothing line.
He's like the Forrest Gump of entertainment.
He really he's such an interesting guy. You ever watch that short film he did on I think it's on YouTube, and it's like he goes in and it's like a fantastic replica of him dead, and he goes in and tends to his own dead body and There's some
Fucking
stuff like, oh, it's crazy. It's just like so like, what the fuck?
His son is
Crimes-
talented as too.
Crimes of the Future.
Oh, his son is super talented.
one
Yeah,
that I
what'd you think
watched.
about that?
Yes.
We kind of
Odd.
talked about it a little bit.
I've been a
but
defender of that movie since it came out, man. People shit on it. That's a good movie.
I've
I
only
would-
watched it once,
like
but
it
it's
too.
definitely something
I wouldn't
wanna
shit on it,
revisit.
but man, it's fucking bizarre as hell. Like it may be the
Super
weirdest
crazy.
movie that he's done. I
It
think.
fits
Yeah.
right into his filmography, though.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, I think
especially when he
Naked
wrote that,
Lunch
you know?
is the closest one to that. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely Naked Lunch. Like, it was Naked Lunch with a little bit of Videodrome and the aesthetics as far as what they were, but it was very. And he wrote that movie in the early '90s when he did Naked Lunch, so it's like he didn't change
Okay,
the
I
script
didn't know
at
that.
all. He just
I had
he
a
didn't
double.
change the script at all. He just made the movie he never got to make. So it
because I
fits.
went back and watched the original Crimes of the Future, which has nothing to do with it at all.
Right?
It's like,
Yeah.
we're not even remotely close. It's crazy that he used the same title.
Isn't it like a college film?
Yeah, it's just I don't really remember it. It was just kind of like it's like a very slow Rabid.
Right.
Rabid's kind of slow, but this is like even slower. I mean, for diehard fans, I definitely recommend checking it out. But if you're a casual Cronenberg fan, you can skip it. But
Has
I
anyone
think
ever
it's
seen
worth
Crash?
checking out at least.
Has anyone ever
Yeah.
seen Crash?
yeah,
Crash is wild.
Yeah.
that's just
Yeah, I honestly wasn't like a big fan of Crash. I thought it was just like weird in a different kind of weird way that it wasn't clicking with me. That kind of weird, like just
Mhm.
it
Yeah,
just wasn't
it's-
clicking for me.
Well,
It's-
Crash was really interesting back in the day just by the reception of it. My God, like there was so many newspapers and talk shows about like how horrible like this is for
Well,
society.
It was supposed to win like the top prize, the Palme d'Or at Cannes that year, and Francis Ford Coppola was the jury president. And apparently the jury was all about to award Crash the award, but he was like so offended and appalled that he
Wow.
put his foot down. Was like, no. And he wouldn't present. I don't think he
You know what he
presented
said to him?
Cronenberg. They made a special award for Cronenberg that year because he should have, won.
Wow, I actually hadn't heard that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just shocked though that Cronenberg got the funding like $35 million for Crimes of the Future, which if any, I mean, say what you want to about it, but that's not a movie that makes money.
No,
It's just not.
it's always because to me,
Oh,
Yep.
Rob shorted out on
there you
us.
go.
Okay.
When I was, I don't know, in my 20s, David Lynch and Cronenberg were kind of neck and neck for a while of like who my favorite director was. And it blows my mind that Cronenberg can get the funding and Lynch just can't. Like he's had so many projects just died on the vine that he couldn't ever make. But yet Cronenberg gets, what'd you say, $35 million to make this movie that there's no way it's making that kind of money back. Not in
No,
a theatrical
it
run.
completely
Mhm.
bombed. Yeah.
What's crazy about Cronenberg too? He was the only horror director of the '80s of that time period that like Gene Siskel gave like regular thumbs up for, because like Siskel hated horror and like hated, but for whatever reason, like he'd always give Cronenberg good reviews from like Scanners and like Videodrome and like shit you would think he'd never like. But I saw Crimes of the Future in the theater. And there was like this elderly couple walked in, and I was just like, before the movie started, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. They're gonna be the first ones gone. I think after the first scene, the first 10 minutes, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. They were like out immediately. It's like, and then before I know it, the theater was like 20 people. There was like maybe 4 by the end of by the time the credits rolled.
Had
gotta
that
see this
exact same
fucking movie.
experience with Naked Lunch. I saw that at a little art theater in Ann Arbor, and it was just like people just kept we kept losing the audience.
That movie's so good. I love Naked
Yeah.
Lunch.
Oh, it's fantastic.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
What else is everybody going to watch?
Stuntman Mark. I think it's his turn.
Yeah, so this is one that kind of gets looked past. I never hear people talk about it. It is somewhat similar to Monster Squad in a way, in the fact that it has vampires, werewolves, Phantom of the Opera, every type of classic horror type character in it. The director
shit.
actually just passed away last week.
I
Rest
knew
in
where you were
peace.
going. Yeah,
Waxwork. Does anybody like
That's-
Waxwork? I love
that's
the
one of my
film.
all-time favorites.
It's great.
man. Like,
Love it.
yeah, I think that's one of the most underrated 80s
Yeah.
films like that there is. Yeah,
I get
Yeah.
there's like some genuine laughs too that I get in that movie as well. Like it's a really good balance of like tongue in cheek, really cool aesthetic, comedy horror
Yeah,
type stuff. I like it a lot. Yeah.
yeah.
the
A lot of
detective in that
cool
movie
effects and
is amazing. Like he's got
Yeah.
like a bit
Yeah.
part, but he's amazing in it.
he's
the
chain smoking
freaking-
cigarettes the whole
Yeah.
time.
The what's the guy's name? You know, the guy that runs the Waxwork, the David Warner.
yeah.
He's great in it. Like
Oh yeah.
everybody's good in it. It's got a lot of really good performances, a lot of really good gore too. Like
Oh yeah. It's much gorier than I remembered.
yeah,
I just watched it the other night. I like the second movie not as much as the first, but I think isn't Bruce Campbell in the second one?
Mhm.
yes, he
Yeah.
is. Yeah. I'll
But
tell
yeah,
you
this
another
one's-
thing about
this
that.
one's the way to
that-
go though.
Another thing about Waxwork that people I don't know if they don't remember or whatever. That fucking soundtrack is outstanding, man.
Yeah.
From the opening like theme.
Mhm.
You can buy the
That's
vinyl
outstanding.
today. It's who is it that did the Terror Vision or something like that? Yeah, you got it.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
nice.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, is that on Waxwork Records or no?
No, wouldn't that be?
It should be.
You would
I
think,
always
yeah,
wondered
that-
what that they named it after that. I was assuming.
Yeah, it's Terror Vision.
Oh, okay.
that's like a die cut cover too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Zach Galligan, though, when we interviewed him, we did talk about Waxwork, and I think we were talking Anthony Hickox, who passed away.
Yeah.
He was dating Deborah Foreman during that time. You remember him talking about that, Uncle Bill?
There was something about that too, where like I think he was dating Deborah Foreman, but he also was like running around with what's the other chick that's in it? The Michelle
Johnson.
Michelle Johnson, the blonde chick.
Mhm.
So ultimately they ended up breaking up, and like he asked her to come back for part 2 and she wouldn't do it because
Oh,
of
no,
that.
no.
Just exactly.
I mean,
But,
Michelle
yeah.
Johnson was pretty tough too.
I mean, dude, between the two of them, that's tough. It's a win-win.
Zach
situation,
Galligan.
man.
Exactly.
Zach Galligan was at that convention in Kentucky where you guys did the commentary
yeah.
for
Yeah, the Fright Night
Don't
show.
Panic. Man, that guy was a dick.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
I've heard that before. Yeah.
He had like one picture. That's why I went to his table, was for Waxwork. I like Gremlins as much as anybody else does, but I wasn't there for Gremlins. I wanted to get a Waxwork picture signed. He had one picture from Waxwork, 8x10, on his table, and it was like a shitty like still from the movie, like a random shot that he's in. And I was like, I don't want that signed. So I was like standing there like awkwardly trying to decide like, well, now I have to get a Gremlins thing because that Waxwork picture sucks ass that he had available at the table. So like he was just sitting there eating Domino's pizza while I was like talking to him.
That's
God.
catering from Ken
Like,
Daniels, boys.
Yeah. And then he was like, I don't know. I thought I might go and try to buy something that was like Waxwork related to have him sign. And I was like, I'll come back. I'm going to come back in like, 10 minutes or so, or you'll still be here, right? And he was like, no. I was like, oh, you're kidding, right? He goes, no, I was actually about to like get up and leave right after you were done. Like,
What the fuck?
I'm leaving.
yeah. And then the lady was like, his assistant was like, did you want the combo with the picture? I said, no, thanks.
He's
So,
like,
man.
I gotta go to fucking Tower Records real quick.
Yeah,
That's what I don't get, man. The ego on some of these fucking people, like Jesus Christ.
So like,
Like, what has he done? What has he done in years? to act
$40
like,
to
he's
fucking
above
scribble
everybody?
their name,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And they can't be nice.
40 is cheap these days,
Yeah.
from what I've seen. It's insane. I still remember we used to complain like, "Give me $20."
Yeah,
It's like,
20
God,
was
that
like
was
no
the
one's
thing.
taking
outrageous
20.
then, yeah.
yeah.
Photo ops are the biggest fuck up. Like Jesus Christ, man! Like those are insane now.
And do you guys know when it comes to these cons, for the most part, for some of the bigger people, you go up to them, and it's like $100, $80, $70, whatever the cost for their autograph, say if you don't have anything to get anything signed, but you get something off their table, 8x10s. Oh, that'd be an extra $10. 12x14s, $20. You want this thing? That's $30. I'm like, shit. You know, I never saw people charge for photos on tables except for the last year and a half or so now. I was like, geez.
They're just doing anything. Pretty soon, man, it's going to be like they'll charge for like air that you breathe next to them or something. I mean, there's not much more they can do like to capitalize on it.
Well,
I might have told you my. Sorry, Wes.
Cory Feldman was charging like an extra, like double if you wanted it not personalized, or whatever, like $80 and then $160 if you just wanted him to sign his name.
And now, if you want to ask, if you want him to put a quote on something, it's an extra $25. I heard.
I'd pay $80 for Cory Feldman to get away from me.
Listen, oh man, just type in Cory Feldman on TikTok. Those are my favorite things to watch on TikTok. Just multiple clips. There's got to be maybe 100 different clips of him on stage, like recently, like within the past.
We have a friend who actually just saw him recently.
Yeah. I saw a clip a little while ago. He's like on stage with his back towards the mic, and he turns around to go start singing to the mic, and then the mic just smacks him in the face.
There's one I saw recently where so this guy's playing guitar and he's trying to get the crowd hyped up to make enough noise for Cory Feldman to come out.
Yeah,
King.
It never happens.
Yeah.
Like he just has to come out. It's like no one's.
I have a theory. that he has dirt on like a big time Hollywood producer, like blackmail, and that's how he gets the money and funds to fund these shitty vanity projects that he does and touring around the country and stuff. Like, I mean, like, come on.
He's still got all that Goonies money and Lost Boys money and
such a bizarre man. He's he still does the Michael Jackson thing, and he's still fucking like it's so
that's his
weird.
idol, man.
And he's not in on the joke either. He's very like he's out of his
But somebody said in here, and this is true, and we've said this for a long time. If people are silly enough to pay that, that's why not charge it. That's why they're charging it, because there's still a shit ton of people that are paying it. Like they're not.
I might have told this story before, but my very first convention I went to was it was just on a whim. We went to the Motor City Comic Con here, and I looked at the list of who's gonna be there, and I saw like John Russo was gonna be there and stuff. So I took my script to Night of the Living Dead and went up to his table, and he signed it, and I just walked away. I didn't know that these people charged for autographs. I was just like, thanks, it was nice meeting you. And I walked away. And dude, like he kind of looked at me like weird. Then it wasn't, and we did all day. We went around Karen Allen from Raiders of the Lost Ark, all these people. And it wasn't until Adam West, and they were like, whoa, where are you going? You owe us like a bunch of money. You got a picture, you got an autograph. I was like, what? I was
like, nobody else charged anything.
Yeah, I had no idea. I mean, I couldn't imagine, like, when I grew up, celebrities just signed shit, it was just, especially if it was personalized.
Well, the convention thing is really taken off in the last 10 years or so, too. Like, where people, like, I remember wrestling conventions. Way back years and years ago, they always charged for both the photo and the autograph, right? Whereas horror conventions up until like 10 years ago, if you paid for an autograph, you got a free picture and everything, and nobody thought anything of it. And now it's like, no, nothing's for free, man.
I was always smart enough back when we were doing the cons that I would talk to the promoter and do a door prize and do my art, and I'd go over and have the celebrity sign it. And then they'd sign 2 of them, and I'd keep one, and I'd give one as a door prize, and that's how I built up my collection without going broke.
Yeah, that's a good way to be for sure. Rob, what have you been watching?
Like I mentioned, House of Usher, really like that. Truthfully, like I don't want to bring the chat down or anything, but this has been a rough October between school and we lost our cat, and I've just haven't been in the mood, and that's why I'm making notes, because usually by now I have like my entire Halloween night planned out, and I'm just like, I can't think of anything to watch. I started digging through reviews today, and I did find a movie that Rue Morgue was really putting over called Herd. It's a zombie movie. Anybody know anything about that?
I haven't heard of it.
Yeah. And then the other one is a movie called New Life. They were super putting that over, but I can't even see if that's been released. I don't know if it was at a film festival or something, but yeah, I got a blank. I could tell you a little bit about our honeymoon to Pittsburgh, which was pretty cool. We like went and saw the Night of Living Dead graveyard and Monroeville Mall. I got my Night of Living Dead tattoo, and
You got to.
the
Tell
very
them
la-
about just running into somebody.
yeah, this is
Yeah.
the very last thing that we did. We were there. We checked out Andy Warhol's grave, and I was like, "Fuck, we didn't go see that fluffy mural." And I was like, "We have to see that." So we went there and saw the thing, which was like, "That's awesome." I don't know, it's really
Hang on, I'll
really big.
hold your solo up there. You go.
Oh, here you go. Well, here, here. Oh, same goddamn hat. I haven't changed. Probably, luckily, not the same shirt. That's surprising.
That's freaking awesome, man.
But yeah, it's really really cool. And then, it's built into this antique shop. And I was in there looking around, and there were these three guys sitting outside. It was a hot day in Pittsburgh, and they're just shooting the shit. And one of them gets up and leaves, and the guy goes, "Hey, you like Creepshow?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "That guy that was sitting there, he was in Creepshow. He played Garbage Man. Like, was it Garbage Man #1?" And we were like, "No shit." And, so we
wait.
started talking to him, and it's Marty Schiff, and he's telling us all these stories. And then we were getting ready to leave, and it's like, "Hey, thanks." I bought a couple things from him. And then my wife looks, and she's never been to a convention or anything. She goes, "Is that guy on that bike? He looks, is that?" And I'm looking, and I'm like, she's like, "Is it Tom Savini?" I'm like, "There's no chance, you know." But then she's like, "He looks kind of big." And I'm like, "Well, Savini works out all fucking time, you know, he is kind of big." And so she got out of the car, walked over there, and sure enough, it was Tom Savini. And
What the
you know,
fuck?
he was tired as fuck, dripping sweat because he's riding his bike. And it's like, the last thing he wanted was some fanboys and girls talking to him while he's trying to hang out with his friends. So we made it really super brief, and then we walked away. And then he kind of under his breath goes, "Don't you want a picture?" And my wife's like, "Fuck yeah, I want a picture." So here's a Creepshow reunion, Garbage Man #1 and 2 in the wild.
Nice.
That's
Pretty
That's
cool.
Damn,
That's better than a
awesome.
convention picture, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
crazy to
Whole
see him
lot
in the
cheaper,
wild
too.
like that. Yeah. So that was kind of, it was a great trip. A lot of cool like horror stuff in that town. It was a really really cool town. Absolutely fell in love with it. So
Yeah, man. I actually work in Pittsburgh, and believe it or not, I've never seen that mural. I've never gone to
Really?
see it. So
yeah, it's really cool. I wasn't expecting it to be as big as it was, and I was like,
yeah,
wow.
there's a couple up there. I want to say there's another one of it's a classic horror mural. And I'm totally blanking on who it is, but there's like maybe 2 or 3 different big murals like that.
Yeah, there's one of Savini, which actually we were gonna go see after this, and then we were like, "Well, fuck it, why go see that? We got to drive all the way back to Michigan." So we just saw, we saw him in the flesh. Why go check out the mural? But I guess it's the same artist that did Fluffy did that. So
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
yeah, it was a real good time.
Yeah, I want to have to do that trip at some point, like that one, and in Blairstown, New Jersey.
In the museum, it's kind of funny because you see some pictures online. The museum at the Monroeville Mall. I feel like they need to kind of update their masks. Like the Trick or Treat Studios masks are better than what's kind of on display with some of the dummies. But it was way bigger and way more stuff than I ever expected to be there. And I actually I don't know what I did with it. I bought a piece of the Evil Dead 2 cabin from those guys. It's like authenticated. It was just like $20 in a bag. I was on my honeymoon and just throwing money away. So, but yeah, I definitely I know the guys that run that museum also run that. You'll know what it's called. Like, is it the Days of the Dead festival? They do one at Evansville Cemetery and then one at the mall.
Oh, the
Living Dead Weekend.
yeah.
Yeah.
That would be it. If you do want to do Pittsburgh, I'd go there and meet you there and do that.
Yeah, man. It's a Living Dead Weekend is pretty cool. They do I'm pretty sure they do it every year. A walk through tour of the Monroeville Mall, and it's a 2-hour tour. So you are walking the entire time. They take you in the back areas where the office is, where the control panels and stuff are. There's a couple scenes in the movie from that. You know, when he shoots the gun and it echoes and bounces off all the piping and all that, they take you through there. I wish they would take you on the roof. They can't do that, but that was what I was hoping they would do when I took that tour. But it's a pretty cool convention for being held in a mall, you know, kind of an odd way to have a convention, or a place to have a convention rather. But I mean, it works out pretty well. They have a couple storefronts that are empty that they just use for tables, and actually surprisingly some pretty good vendors show up to that, do that show. Like, you know, some conventions get kind of shitty stuff where you just kind of walk by, whatever. But like, no, the Living Dead one, they actually get some pretty good vendors show up at that.
Awesome. I did get my picture with the bust of George there. They it's weird because the mall has changed so much, but you can tell, like you can feel it. You're like, shit, this is Dawn of the Dead, man. It's really cool.
It's really fortunate that mall's still even open, because how popular are malls anymore, really?
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
So, I mean, I hope it stays open forever, but, you know, who knows?
Yeah, we went in the middle of the day, and there was actually quite a few people in there. I was surprised. I was expecting it to be dead.
It's a bit of an uppity mall if you think about it. Like, it's kind of like, you know, sort of like clean and like really, like, I don't want to say upscale, but it's not like a cheapo looking mall. They really like put a lot of money into redoing that place. So it doesn't have that like old school feeling like a mall, like you would hope that it would have, like it was in the movie. But there are parts of it that definitely you know that it's the Monroeville Mall. Like, it feels like it.
I think driving up to it too.
Yeah.
Like when you're you immediately know that that's the mall.
The inside looks nothing like the outside.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean,
The
when I was
outside is like
going up the hill and everything to get to it, you're just like, it's just completely noticeable, like what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was not totally off the horror subject, but I was surprised Pittsburgh didn't really have a museum or anything of Mr. Rogers. It was like in the mall, they have like this case with a sweater and some stuff, and that's the only thing we could find while we were there. But I was surprised by that.
Cool. Carter, your next player.
All right.
What you been watching or recommended something?
Okay. I've been watching a bunch of old stuff, so there's nothing new here because I'm just not been in a mood for
don't like new shit.
But yeah, for the most part, I don't. I mean, every now and again, something will surprise me. But so especially this year. This year sucks,
baby.
But look at right here.
Recently too.
Yes, sir.
Me too.
I watched the first one.
Get that.
I'm gonna watch Psycho 2 tonight, but this set is incredible.
Wow,
look
that
at
is
that.
really
That's
nice.
I should have bought that.
And I love all these movies, by the way.
Well, the price, man, too. Like, how killer of a price? It was
It's perfect price. Yeah.
What I did a double take. I was like, for real? And I immediately, it was just like one of those buys when I realized how much it was. I was like, gotta get it.
I have
going
to
sell out.
Does that include the Psycho Legacy thing or not?
The documentary?
Yeah.
I don't think it's on there, but I'm not.
I still have Aaron's copy he lent me forever ago when I was in Brusselsburg. I got to get that back to you. It's been 15 years.
I've been waiting on that.
Yeah. I mean, I watched the first one last night. It's a classic still. I haven't seen that movie in forever. It's one of the best paced movies ever. I can't wait to watch part 2 tonight because I absolutely love that. And 3 and 4 ain't so bad themselves either. 4, I think, is a little bit better than 3, but 3 is, which is directed by Perkins, is visually pretty good. And that was actually the first one I seen back in the day.
Now, it looks like there's an extra in there. What is that? That extra?
That's a book.
Oh, it's a book.
It's kind of big. Yeah.
That's big in Britain. Is the
we don't read around here though. So.
I enjoy the smell of them more than anything else. They smell really nice.
He hopes
Scratch and sniff.
Yeah.
We're no fans of reading.
I think Psycho 2, though, may be one of the best, maybe the best sequel of all time, possibly.
Horror. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
it's up there. We just
Definitely.
brought up Dawn of the Dead. I think Dawn of the Dead, Psycho 2, and I'm sure there's one that's escaping me right now. But yeah, I mean, it's in the top tier of, and considering what it had to follow, and that, you know, it was only made because to capitalize on the slasher boom at the time.
Right.
And at first they didn't even think Anthony Perkins would want to do it. And as soon as he hopped on board,
He
they
fucking killed it,
just
literally.
elevated.
I mean,
Yeah, he gives a better performance in 2 than he does the first one.
I think so too. I think he
He has-
perfected that character.
Yeah, that
First
might
They did
time
be.
the brilliant. They did
first
the
time I
brilliant
saw
thing of not
Psycho-
making him the killer.
I don't
Was
think
a-
that we can. I don't think that we can leave out Vince Vaughn's performance in the remake, though. I
Oh,
don't think
God.
we can talk about Psycho without talking about
Definitely
that.
have to bring him up, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
Slim
but-
Vince.
Fucking
For Psycho
masterpiece.
2, I think that's Tom Holland's masterpiece in terms of like screenwriting. I mean, I love Child's Play, I love
Mhm.
Fright Night, but Psycho 2 is just amazing.
They did
He
the
brought
brilliant
everything
thing
full
of not
circle.
making Norman the killer. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and then that final scene, that whole movie is building towards that, and it's just like
Yeah.
such a satisfying, like that final.
That's so wrong too. They would never do that today.
That's
That
a
sound
great stunt, man. Like whoever did that that's just great. Like that ending.
Was that like a plastic shovel or something?
Oh,
Because he
nice.
swung away.
No, it's metal.
He swung away at that shit though. Like he
That
you
sound
could
effect
tell.
is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a thud.
It's just one of those things that just makes you crack up because it's just so
That and the chair that she's sitting in like flies apart in like a million pieces. It's
Yeah.
great.
There's a lot of great character actors in Psycho too.
Yeah.
You got oh shit, what's his name's escaping me?
Robert Loggia.
Robert Loggia, yeah.
Yeah.
Robert Loggia's in it. The what's his Dennis Franz from
Yeah,
NYPD.
Dennis Francis, who I remember, the asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was
He
he, the
always plays
hotel
like an
manager or
asshole like
something like
that.
He plays just
Yeah.
a complete asshole, yeah.
Yeah.
I got this recently. I watched 1 and 2. So I guess these are 2 newer movies. I really do like both of them. Terrifier 2.
Mhm.
Believe it or not, I didn't like Terrifier 1 grew on me over the years. I didn't like it at all the first time I watched it. 2 I loved immediately. But I really appreciate 1. And 1 actually has some funny stuff in it that just totally, like, I guess went over my head the first time I watched it. The scene in part 1 that I always laugh at is when the
Yeah, he's got an
after
autograph.
Yeah.
after Art smears his shit and piss all over the bathroom. And then the guy, the worker's cleaning up, and he's like, "Yeah, you letting the guy that cooks your pizza clean his shit and piss off the floor. Real fucking sanitary." Yelling at his boss.
I just wish,
that
like,
makes me laugh.
if that movie was like 30 minutes shorter, like I think it would have been much
Yeah.
better.
Oh,
It's-
too, yeah.
This is one I still need to watch. I got it. I bought it at a convention, and I still haven't even.
Oh, we really, really liked it. I haven't watched the first one yet, but yeah, that was a
I
blast.
didn't care for the first one for some reason. I mean, there was a couple of
Me neither.
like, okay moments in there,
Yeah.
where like Catherine Corcoran getting cut in half upside down and all that shit. But I
Two is
just didn't care for it. The movie.
It's the concept that the first one introduced fully formed, really.
But
like-
yeah,
the
there's
best
more. You can
parts
tell
of the
there's more
first one-
money, and like everybody's kind of
Yeah.
perfected what they're doing, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
It's such
I
a
don't know.
mean little movie, but it's
Yeah.
also so much fun at the same time, and that's such a hard.
Have you guys
thing
seen
to
the
nail.
the All Hallows Eve movie? Well, the first one
Yeah.
kind of featured art for the first time.
Mhm.
And it was so weird because everybody was talking about, like, when Terrifier came out, everybody online was bragging, talking this movie up and everything. And I was like, where in the fuck have I seen that damn clown before? Right?
Yeah.
So I ended up just
Yeah.
looking it up. It's a completely unrelated movie, right? It doesn't have hardly anything to do. Damien Leone,
Leone's.
he
Yeah.
directed it, right?
But it's a
Yeah,
different guy playing art, too.
yeah, it is. When I talked to him about All Hallows Eve, he was not feeling it at all. Like he said like his agent basically made him like make that into a feature, because I just, the whole conversation started about anthology films and which ones he likes, and I'm like, well, would you do another one like that, or would you do a VHS segment or something? And he's like, no, I didn't really want to do the first one. I just did it because my agent kind of made me. Those were supposed to be like shorts for like YouTube and stuff, like promotional type of thing.
It is it's very amateur compared to what, like, where he is now. So I can see him being like, like,
Yeah.
because compared
was-
the quality and budget to like All Hallows Eve to Terrifier 2, and it's just like, just goes to show you what money, if you have a lot of money, how much, because that guy was just working with pennies at first, and then you see the shit he pulls off, and the bedroom scene in Terrifier 2 alone is just in fucking insane.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. That scene was the first scene in a long time that I actually, the first time I watched it, I was like, I started getting fucking sweaty and like, it's like, Jesus, this is really difficult to watch, man.
Yeah.
Like,
For me, it
like,
was the candy bowl was the one that got us. We were like, what?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
When he runs back in with the bleach and the salt and shit, I'm like, God damn, like that's hardcore.
Even Steve was like, no, that's
it's too much
me.
for Steve.
Yeah,
it was.
That's great.
And the other one,
Kelly says she loved the mashed potatoes.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
right.
a great scene. Yeah.
The other one I watched, this is an all-time classic. To me, honestly, still to this day, it's probably one of the best horror anthologies. It's brilliant, and that is Amicus Tales from the Crypt.
I've got that
Yeah.
exact
Oh,
one.
yeah.
It's a perfect combination of that old style British horror with the right source material. It's the same comics that the HBO series. 2 of the stories, everybody knows the Santa Claus story. Just perfect little story segments with great twists. My favorite one is the take on the monkey's paw, where it's basically the monkey's paw, but the characters are aware of how the monkey's paw works, and they still fuck everything up. And like, it's just great. And especially if nobody's ever seen, anybody in the chat never seen this, and they watch the HBO series, definitely give this a watch. The coolest thing too, and it's really such a cool looking character, is that the Grim Reaper that appears in that one segment that's on a motorcycle. It's just a skull. That's a cool looking character, like design that you briefly see. So
that is a great movie.
Yeah,
when I was
first
a kid,
ever
I
killer
was
Santa Claus. First ever
I was
killer
disappointed
Santa Claus
when I was a kid just because the HBO series of the same name, and then I was like, this is stupid. This doesn't have anything to do with it. Crypt Keeper's not in this. But yeah, that is a great movie.
Well, the Crypt Keeper is kind of in it, but it's not the same.
It is.
It's just some old dude that's like, hey, what's up, y'all?
How's it going?
It's funny, it's because the Crypt Keeper in the movie looks like the Crypt Keeper in the comic books. It's just an old man in a robe. But the Crypt Keeper in the comic books acts like the Crypt Keeper in the show. It's all puns and boils and ghouls, whereas this guy's just like, oh, you're in my crypt. But it's
that's like, movie. What year is that?
Early
70s, wasn't it?
71. And it's the first Killer Santa Claus movie. I don't think there was a Killer Santa Claus movie before this, so it's a good one to watch around Christmas too.
I don't know why, but the scene that always stuck in my head about that is the one where the guy like is really mean to the blind people or whatever, and they end up like they create
they make a saw trap
with the dogs and the fucking razor blades and everything, and he's like walking through it, and the razor blades like right there to his head, and then they released the dog. That's amazing. Yeah,
I like that one, and I think one of my other favorites out of those stories is the vampire one where he goes to that restaurant and they cover up all the mirrors, and you know which one I'm talking about?
Was that in Vault of Horror?
It's in one of those movies. I can't remember which one it is out of that double feature, but
Vault is good too.
Those movies blend together for me because that's that double feature that I always watched both of them. But yeah, it's he goes to that town, and like all the people just like disappear off the streets, and he just wanders into that restaurant that's just randomly open. Like no one's in their houses, no one's on the street, but all of a sudden there's this restaurant that's like bustling with people inside, and he walks in, and you can see that like none of the people's reflections are in the mirrors on the wall, and he doesn't notice, and they they basically trap him in there and like eat him. That's a good one.
Now, is the Vault of Horror, is that considered the sequel to Tales from the Crypt?
It's the same source material. In the EC Comics, it was Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror, and Haunt of Fear, because they had like 3 different hosts. Mm-hmm. So I guess it was, I don't know if it was supposed to be a trilogy, but they only made Tales from the Crypt and Vault of Horror. But the HBO series, most of the stories, I mean, a lot of them were adapted from Tales from the Crypt, but most of them were from Vault of Horror, shock suspense stories. They were all written by the same people. It was just like different labels, I guess. But I have a
There's
few
really
of those, man. And
There's some really
comic
good
books.
reprints of those. I think it's
Yeah.
Is it Fantagraphics? I don't remember who's putting those out, but yeah, they're doing all three of them, and they're actually affordable and they're great to get. They're really, really cool comics.
If you ever look at those and realize like what era they were made in the 50s, it's no wonder why people just flip their shit back then. Their kids were reading books with like dismemberment and zombies, and the artwork is great on it too. It's just
really good.
They didn't have any restriction on that shit back then either, right?
I think it was because of them that there was restriction on comic books. I mean, I'm not the biggest expert on comic books, but I'm pretty sure it was because of
it was
the EC comic books that they.
And
They had
those
a
things are
self-censor.
like crazy valuable too, right? The originals,
Yeah.
if you've got
Oh
them.
Yeah.
So,
Great shit.
Matt, man, what do you got? What you been watching?
Well, I recently checked out Burnt Offerings for the first time. Holy shit, I loved
Nice.
it, man.
Me
Yeah.
too. I love that one. One of my favorites.
One of the best like house movies out there.
Mhm.
I mean, I like this. I personally like this better than like Amityville Horror. I don't know how comparable you want to say they are or aren't, but I like Amityville 2 the most. But I like this a whole lot. I thought the acting all around was just top notch, and obviously Karen Black is great in it, but everybody else that's in it is great.
So you're saying you're not into Curly Jaws Amityville? Is what you're saying?
No, that's the only one I put above
That's on a
Amityville.
different level.
Great.
The Fly Babies.
Yeah.
They're coming at me.
So are the Deadpit boys ever going to review Amityville, Carrie? We're waiting.
No.
God,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
What about Amityville Bigfoot?
Amityville Bigfoot. Now that sounds a little bit more up my alley. I might check that one out.
That's a cool looter one too.
We are going to check out our boy Master Chaos has got the Exorcists. That's
Yeah, I was
coming
at
out.
the premiere of that one.
It's out. Yeah, it's out digitally and everything from the Asylum. And I hear Steve has seen it. He says that it's better than the new Exorcist movie.
We got to talk about Believer at some point, man.
Are you a believer? Or to see?
Fuck no.
So like next, I haven't. I mean, I've seen the movie, but I'm planning on watching it with the new Blood and Black Lace.
Yeah, I got to get that, man.
That's good.
Oh man, I haven't opened it, but it's a slip cover over top of this.
Oh God.
So it's like the other Arrow Argento.
He just fucking came all over him.
Oh yeah, it's kind of different because usually the arrows are just the hard box and then it's open on the side, but this gives you a little extra slippage. So
Oh yeah, man.
so
It's
that's
extra
kind of cool.
squishy.
That movie's got to look incredible in 4K.
Absolutely, it's got
Yeah.
it has to. I mean, the
I
Blu-ray.
mean, if I
looks
see that
phenomenal.
Arrow's doing an edition, like they got the House by the Cemetery edition, right? So I got rid of my Blue Underground one just because I just love their shit. Like Arrow and Second Sight, those are probably my two favorite companies.
Mm-hmm.
And then like as far as like two that I haven't seen that I plan on checking out, Evil Dead Trap. Can anybody?
Oh,
say
you'll
anything
love that.
about this?
It's fucking insane.
Dude. Yeah,
That
I mean,
movie's
just
awesome.
the cover alone kind of really got me hooked. Like I had to buy it type of thing.
Mhm.
And this is Unearthed Films, so I don't really think I own anything from Unearthed Films. It's not really my cup of tea.
I don't have
usually.
I own a
lot of
couple,
their stuff
unfortunately.
either, but that's one of their better
always-
releases for sure.
I've
Serbian
heard,
film was Unearthed Films.
Yeah.
God.
You got to
But
watch
it
that.
was.
but this looks really neat. I watched the trailer, looked at a couple of like reviews. People that I follow, like on Letterboxd, had rated it really high. So I was like, I think this was the. I don't remember what sale I got this from. I think it was Orbit actually when they had their sale like 4 weeks ago now. And this was one of the titles I picked up in that sale. And then like this one, real quick, I'll throw in Blade in the Dark. I got to watch this one too. Finally got that. But then like the last one that I really want to check out, not necessarily a horror movie, but I have to tell everybody in here, just watch the freaking trailer for this. This is Let the Corpses Tan. Has anybody seen this or heard of this?
Nope.
Yeah, I have.
Is that
Okay.
is that a spaghetti western?
It's like a homage to spaghetti westerns and Italian crime films and
I have
Giallo.
heard of that. I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it.
So I don't
Great
know
title.
I don't know how this slipped under my radar, but when I saw the trailer for this, I about flipped my shit. Like, because it's one of the most effective, badass trailers. If you like Italian horror, Italian crime, spaghetti western.
Is this a newer movie or no?
2017, I think.
Yeah.
And it's a Kino title, so it's usually on their sales when they do have sales. But so it's I guess the directors did a movie called The Strange Color of Your Body's Tears, which is like
Wasn't-
a Giallo.
That's such a
I have that in
name
the other
for a
room.
Giallo, yeah.
That movie's awesome. If you haven't seen it, Matt, you'll love that too.
I
think
haven't,
it's
man.
I think it's also by those guys. Didn't they do that movie Amer?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I have that too. Those are
So-
all great movies.
But like, first of all, just please watch
Oh.
the trailer for this and tell me that it doesn't kind of hook you in, because I was like, holy fucking shit, this looks badass. Like, it looks like everything I want to see as a fan of like Italian type films, spaghetti westerns and Giallo and that type of thing. But yeah, the even the description on the back says like they made the film, and it's like instead of the Giallo worshiping style of that Strange Color of Your Body's Tears, this one is more of a blistering sun, creaking leather, and raining bullets version of a Giallo. So it just looks so goddamn badass. I think it's on Tubi as well. But yeah, Let the Corpses Tan. Like I'm already like hyping it up, and I haven't watched it. But like, man, that trailer just blew me away. I'll be honest.
We got to create our own Giallo and just name it something crazy, like the strange
5
case
caterpillars
of a
on cotton pants. Man. You
Yes,
already named
you
it.
already did it. Yeah.
the strange case of a perverted numbnuts or something. Just some crazy title.
But hey, speaking of being hyped up for a movie, over there at Son of Monsterpalooza, there's these like the director and some of the actors of this movie that they're going around promoting over at this convention, like passing out flyers. They even like have like, you know, showing us like little clips from the movie on their phones and stuff like that. The movie that they're promoting looked like it was gonna be amazing, and it was called Sin Jin Smith. I'm just wondering when it's ever coming out. And I'm just,
You talking about Son of Monsterpalooza back 20 years ago? Is that-
Yeah.
That fucking movie.
I was kidding. No one was there promoting that shit.
That's a.
You can
I
watch
forgot
scenes
all about
from it
that.
on YouTube, though. I mean,
I know. I was just
If-
listening.
yeah, I
lost
just mean
with,
like if anybody at the chat's really interested, it doesn't look good anyway. So probably
All
shouldn't come
American
out.
Nightmare is the other one, man. They're going to come out with that. Toby Hooper's boy.
Oh my god.
yeah.
The
Toby
one
Jr.
thing I wanted to say real quick about this too, what the trailer reminded me of was like a mixture between something like Mario Bava or even Fulci meets Quentin Tarantino. Like that's what the trailer kind of made me think of, which sounds weird, but it just works.
It's
That's why
got
I-
a little touch of like that Fernando De Leo, like 70s crime stuff in it too.
Okay. Yeah, man, I'm just hyped to watch it. I don't know. Like I don't get excited about movies a lot, like the newer ones, like from the past 10 years or so, but
Mm-hmm.
it just looks, I'll watch it and I'll be like, nah. No, but I expect I have high hopes for it for sure. And I'll definitely check out that other one, Mark, that you said they did. So that sounds cool too.
Those guys are pretty underrated. They don't get a lot of praise or hype or anything, but their movies are pretty solid.
That's what I was thinking. Like, I don't know how this one got under my radar. I've never heard anybody talk about this in any like update or like anything like that for anybody that I watch on YouTube or anything. So yeah, seems cool.
Cool.
Yeah. Definitely is.
So I picked out a bunch of titles that I have not watched yet, but I'm planning on watching before and I will go through some of these real quick. I wanted to watch a Freddy movie, boys, because everybody loves Freddy Krueger. You want to hear my favorite Freddy movies, Uncle Bill?
Freddy's dead.
What I got, man.
Not by you,
Freddy's dead. Here's the thing, and Jason X was like this for me for a while, and Freddy's Dead's still kind of like this.
It ain't no count. Don't
It
try to
ain't
make
no
it
good,
big
but I
count.
still want to fucking rewatch it for some reason. I'm
No,
like,
it ain't gonna work.
Oh, is that the one that? Remember when
Google
Tom
does.
Arnold and Roseanne show up in that
Yeah.
movie?
Yeah.
That was.
I'm a glutton
fantastic.
for punishment because my cousin Chris Vance picked this up for me and sent it to me. Jacko on Blu-ray.
Ooh.
Listen to the commentary of that.
It's autographed by Linnea too, man. Woo!
Nice.
The commentary of that is iconic because, like, either the writer or the director, one of the two, was kind of shitting on the movie the whole time, and the other guy in the commentary, whichever one, the writer or director, whichever one, the other one that was there, like, gets really butthurt and leaves halfway through the commentary and starts yelling at him. It's the funniest shit ever.
I gotta get
Yes.
this now.
Oh, yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
guys seen the
It's
sequel to that? Have you guys seen the sequel to that movie called Jack Off?
No,
No.
I
It's
haven't-
about
I
Pool
haven't-
Duder.
There's like a big bukkake segment at the end of the whole.
Is it a Sean C. Phillips film?
I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, there's a big bukkake scene at the end of that one.
MJ's in it too. No.
Fuck if I know.
Another one. I think this has got a good Halloween vibe.
Fucking guy.
Dead Silence from
Yeah.
our buddies at Scheme
Oh,
Factory.
yeah.
One of the very few new releases that they did a 4K on, not a re-release.
Is Mark Wahlberg in that? I can't remember, but I swear I feel like he is.
No, it's
His
Donnie
brother.
Wahlberg.
Donnie Wahlberg in it? Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
What?
Mark Wahlberg would be
No.
amazing.
No, Donnie Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in it. Yeah, Donnie
Hey.
Wahlberg is in it.
He's the
Yeah,
detective.
You're a puppet, huh? How you doing? Good to meet you. Go on.
Ryan
Guys, let's learn
Quanten
about
is
science.
in it as well.
From
But,
True Blood.
Exactly it. Oh no.
I think it's not Mark, but it's Donnie. It's the one that can act. He's
Well, what if he
Blue
was in
Bloods.
Dead Silence? Oh, you're a puppet, huh? That's cool.
Oh, these
Fucking
puppets are crazy.
Donnie's the actor of the family. So yeah, we interviewed James Wan around the time of this theatrical release too. I don't know if you guys remember it, but great guy. And I think this is a very underrated movie. He is. Everybody talks about all the other movies that he did, aside from this one and Death Sentence, which I think is a couple of his best movies.
Yeah, that's
Did
my
that?
favorite.
I forget. Did that fare well when in the theaters? Or did it kind of just like?
I think it
didn't-
bombed.
Because it seemed like there was a long stretch between Death Sentence and Insidious where James Wan really didn't do it, and then Insidious was his big like return to box
So-
office success.
Yeah.
Death Sentence was a wide release, but it came out the same weekend as Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Mhm.
So it
Yeah.
got killed.
It didn't make
Yeah.
anything. I was in the theater. It was like 2 other people in there when I saw Death Sentence.
Here's
That's
the
for
good thing about James Wan now, those he makes all those Insidious and all the other films just so he can make shit like Malignant. It's just like,
Malignant's
I like
great,
that's where
man.
he's at in his career.
He makes Fast and the Furious movies too, right?
Yep.
Hey,
So
man,
he
he
can
did
fun
one-
doing
The
crazy
shitty
shit.
Aquaman movies pay off when you get Malignant. So
Yep. He's like,
There you go.
here you go.
He's at the point where he's just like shitting out $100 bills. I mean, I was looking the other day, like the guy has 3 of the top horror franchises. They're in the top 15 of like the highest grossing franchises of all time. And I think it's Saw, Insidious, and the Conjuring universe. And that one's the highest grossing one. It's number 1. It's over, I think it's probably at like 2 billion now. There's like 9 movies. It's crazy.
My head's gonna explode. I still can't stand James Wan. And I'm saying Taylor Swift's the #1 movie right now, and I don't need to see that either. So I don't know what the money's got.
You
to
don't
do
want
with
to Taylor
the
on
quality.
stage and scantily clad attire?
Listen.
I don't know. I just can never get into it. Like we tried watching *Malignant* too, and it's just like, oh, I'm gonna get beat up in here, but whatever.
I
just can't
You
stand
can talk
that guy. I
about
don't know
Malignant
why.
all you want, but
I
I'm
want to
to
like his movies. I want to have these movies that I
Swifties.
can.
You know, I watched so I just rewatched Saw, revisited it. I had not watched that movie since a year or so after it came out. And like I just watched it maybe a week or two ago. I was really like surprised at how underwhelmed I was by it. Like I thought in my head, I remembered liking it a lot more, and now rewatching it, I was like, it just wasn't
I
doing it.
think
I
that's
was
one of those
instantly because
movies
It's a
that-
I'm
one
like this.
watch type deal. Once you know the
yeah, like once
Here's
you
my
know-
problem with that Saw. It's like, okay, so you wake up and you're chained to this shit, and you're all this, and like 45 minutes later, you're like, you know what this reminds me of? The time I was accused of being the jigsaw. That's not the fucking first thing that pops in your head. I'm just like, this movie just lost me.
It was
I
acting.
mean,
it.
I like it a
Acting,
lot.
too. Like I don't know.
I like
just-
it a lot. Oh, sorry.
No, you're
but-
good. Guy.
I like it a lot, especially considering the whole like we need to make a movie on a small budget that primarily takes place in one room. I think it's by far the best of the franchise. But going
Did you
back
see
to
the
it,
new
Carrie Elway's acting is fucking atrocious in that.
I was
movie.
gonna
It
say,
is,
yeah.
but he-
Like,
What?
pretty much everything he
It went over
does.
my head the first time around, but I was like, holy fuck. And like, yeah, it just
If
But
you
I mean,
watch
other
him
than
in
that-
anything now, though, it's awful, man. Watch him in any role that he's had, like the last 20 years or something, and it's universally pretty bad.
I mean, he didn't set the world on fire with the Black Christmas second remake.
No,
Oh,
even go back
yeah.
and watch him. He was in one of that Jim Carrey movie he was in. He's fucking awful in that. Like
Liar,
liar,
Liar.
liar. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Man, he's
can't
always
act.
sucked. He was horrible in Twister, and that movie came out when I was like 5. So
He was horrible
He's just
in
a
Twister.
shitty actor.
Yep.
Oh, he was great in Princess Bride. Come on.
That's it.
That's a
though.
great
That's
fucking
about
One Hit
it.
Wonder. This is One
No,
Hit
wait.
Wonder.
I take that back. Robin Hood Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Oh
He was
yeah.
great in Robin Hood Men
You
in
just liked
Tights.
it.
What about the
because
Crush?
Uncle Bill.
That's right.
But I implore
No, that-
anybody to go
that
back
movie
to
is
Saw.
all Alicia Silverstone. There's nothing to do with Carrie Elways in that.
I don't know what fucking accent he's trying to do in Saw. Like, there is no human on earth that talks like that in any way.
No, but I'm not gonna lie. When the Saw movies were coming out, I was all about those. I was all about those motherfuckers as they were coming out, like every Halloween or whatever it was at that time. You know, during that was like 5 or 6 years.
I
like,
think that's
span
about
or-
to happen again
You
because
think so?
Oh, God.
Like
Saw
every year?
10,
People say the new one's good. I don't know.
I haven't seen it yet either.
it made a shit ton of money already. It's more than made
Oh.
its money back. So I wouldn't
People
be
also say
shocked.
that Exorcist Believer will be great in 20 years.
There's some people that I guarantee believe that too.
And did they already
Guys,
make?
People said that
you gotta
about
trust
Halloween
me.
Ends too.
You got to trust me. It's a piece of shit now, but in 20 years from now, if you're still alive, it's going to be great. All right, just trust
Yep.
me.
That and Halloween Ends is going to set the
Dude,
world
the
on
thing-
fire in 20
I
years.
think it's because you have movies like Halloween 3 or you name it that start off with a bad reception, and over time people are like, it's not so bad, and everybody's desperate to find that one so they can be like, I called it. This movie that everybody hates, the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, man, it's great. You know, Jackie Earle Haley, he really got it.
Still waiting for that one.
He
There's a
nailed it.
couple people that's doing that.
Oh, dude, I know. I'm not going to mention any names, but I know exactly.
Nancy.
There's, oh, God,
No, dude.
the
That
defense of that
remake,
movie is just.
the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street, it did suck, donkey balls. The only thing I did like about it was that whole thing that they used about micro naps. I wish they did something like that with the Robert Englund ones. You know what I mean? Like
That
you're not
movie-
falling asleep and he's coming at you and shit.
That movie was so boring; it gave me a micro nap.
No, I'm saying that's the only
Micro
thing
nap.
in that movie that I thought was that was decent. That little
He
micro
did-
nap.
I like Jackie Earle Haley the best though. Really.
What's your favorite quote from that one, Uncle Bill?
Oh yeah, my favorite quote is always going to be, "Why are you screaming? I haven't even cut you yet. I'm going to go take a nap. Fuck this." Like the most unenthusiastic Brady of all time.
like he's got a stuffy nose.
It's pretty obvious nobody wanted to be there. I think they said Rooney Mara almost quit acting altogether because of that movie.
Yeah, I heard.
I heard that too.
I could see
And
that.
then-
Yeah.
She thankfully, I think, met David Fincher right after and kind of revitalized her career. Dude, that movie is just
She was a big
horrible.
deal a
You
year
did-
later, right? She was nominated
Yeah.
for the
Mhm.
I
Academy Award.
can't believe that nobody, even at the time, or maybe some people were mentioning this, that Jackie Earle Haley was just doing the same fucking voice that he was doing for Rorschach. He just took it over to Freddy and did the same fucking voice. Like it's the same thing. In the Watchmen,
He don't give a
he's just like,
shit.
And the makeup they chose to go with is
Oh.
like laughable. It's like, what is this?
See,
Like, it
somebody
looks
on Facebook Marketplace put this mannequin that was actually like a decent mannequin, and I live on Elm Street, and I was like, fuck, do I get the remake Freddy to put outside? So, because you also don't want all your shit stolen. But if that gets stolen, I don't care. But I'm just like, I decided, no, it's not worth $30.
No.
I'm surprised they
Yeah,
even
man.
made that.
Yeah. There were the
ano-
weird things too, because it stands up, but then it collapses down for storage, and he looks so ridiculous when he's like a dwarf.
Remember they had that version of Freddy in like a Mortal Kombat game or something too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Come out, yeah.
Jackie
Mortal
Earl,
Kombat 10,
Freddy.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, way back in the day.
Another one though that I picked up crazy cheap.
10,
This was like $5 shipped, and this is a really underrated movie, Lightning
yeah.
Bug from
Yes.
2005. Robert Hall, who unfortunately passed away like a couple of years ago. And man, talk about a wasted talent, because this guy, I think, had he not had like the issues with alcohol and drugs and stuff, he probably could have been like a James Wan, I think. But unfortunately, it never really. I think this was like the really special movie that he did. He did do the Laid to Rest movies as well.
Yep.
But yeah, I really wanted to revisit this one, and it was cheap enough, so I just got the DVD of it.
We met him at Horror Hound when I think it was one of the first when they had the big Mass Fest thing, and he was so nice. He was a super nice guy.
Yeah. Yeah, really talented makeup effects guy too. And
Dirt
Amazon had this one, and I sent this to Rob too. Sarah bought this for me as just a
Oh,
random
yeah.
gift. $29.99 for Dracula, Frankenstein, Invisible Man, and Wolfman, all in 4K.
Is that still on sale? Because I meant to get that.
I think
Dracula.
so.
Yeah,
Dude, that's
was
the
a
other
great
one. Yeah, they had the other one for $29.99 too.
Damn,
This
I
one
might
I
have
got.
to.
I
Hey
should've
man,
got
these
both
movies
of them.
look. Say what you want. I was a skeptic. These movies look fucking good in 4K.
They look
I was watching The
amazing.
Mummy. The Mummy scene where that movie kind of peaks in the first 10 minutes and never really, matches those heights. But that opening scene where the mummy's coming to light, the picture on it's so good for a movie that's almost 100 years old. It was really impressive what they
Yeah,
did.
it is
Like,
crazy.
Wes hooked me up with the digital version of Frankenstein, and my God, does it look so good? Almost too good, because you can see like the backdrop kind of wave. You can tell it's like on cloth.
Yeah.
I never noticed that before the 4K, but yeah, it's amazing what they
Yeah,
did.
some of those Universal sets, man, it's crazy how cheap they've gotten. Like the Hitchcock sets are the same way.
Yeah,
Like-
oh for sure, man. Weren't those like 25 when they were on sale? Or were
I
they
think-
30?
I think they were 30 as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, because I picked both of those up, and
And
they're
they've
great.
got a new one that's coming out. It may already be out.
Yeah.
Volume 3 or whatever.
Hell, I'll wait
Isn't
till
it-
that goes down to 30 again. But
Isn't it funny that Universal has no idea how to use the classic monsters? Like they have them. They're still when people think of Halloween, they think of, the Universal monsters first, Mummy, Dracula, and they just don't. I mean, they use them like they re-released the movies. I think they're doing a theme park for them at Universal Orlando. But as far as making new movies, like why haven't they even tried to like?
Well, they did with Tom Cruise, remember?
We
they
don't
were gonna
talk
do
about
the
that.
Dark Universe.
We don't talk about that.
The thing that bothers me.
Oh.
The thing that bothers me is they try to screw the Lugosi family out of the rights because they own the rights to the likeness, and that's why you always see like all this cool Karloff stuff, and then this generic vampire Dracula that looks nothing like Lugosi, and it sucks.
It's terrible.
did you see that I think it was Marvel did that short horror monster
Werewolf at Night, I think. Yeah,
Werewolves at Midnight or something like that.
yeah.
I
What
watched
Werewolf by Night? Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that a couple of weeks ago and thought it was like okay. I mean, the trailer made it look a lot cooler than it actually ended up being, but I'd never seen, Marvel do. I think it was Marvel, right?
Yeah, Marvel had a line of horror comics back in the 70s and stuff, and that was one of them. So, yeah.
It was kind of neat. I mean, it's a short watch. I think it's like 55 minutes or something like that, or maybe 60. But
Cool.
And of course, they had played. Two.
Uh-oh. Universal Talent booking.
Oh, let's
He's
not
the
get
big
into that shit.
Last Slumber Party fan.
Oh my
All right,
God.
guys. Everyone that's watching this live show right now, we have 134 people watching. Hit the thumbs up button, man. How did we only have 59 thumbs up?
Hey, what's wrong with you people? Thumbs this shit up,
It's
motherfucker.
absolutely
Oh
shameful.
shit!
Fuck
I gotta
it.
open up another tab.
Thumbs it up.
Yep.
Thumbs it
Dude,
right
dude,
up
he's
your
like-
ass.
That'd be a good thing to add to the show.
Come
Thumbs it
on.
up.
Come on.
Thumbs it up.
Like the old Scotty Too Hot. Fucking.
Yeah.
Thumbs it
And
up.
did you guys see that? Like Triple H and what's his name? Shawn Michaels might be making a comeback right now, or like what's it called?
Why?
It was like putting out a challenge to like the Undertaker and Kane or something. I saw a clip of that. What the hell was going on?
I haven't heard anything about it.
No way. Triple H
Please
can't
no.
wrestle anymore because
I
of his
think
heart
Triple H
issues.
he's got like a defibrillator or something.
Yeah,
like
he can't wrestle anymore.
I sure, 'cause I
Well,
saw a clip today or something like that with them walking into the ring and like saying shit about the Undertaker and Kane and I don't know. Something was going on about the crown jewel coming up or something. Unless that's an old clip.
Yeah, that they faced them at an old Crown Jewel
Yeah.
show like
I'm
2 or
tripping,
3
man. I'm
years ago.
sorry.
It's all about the game and how you play it.
That's right.
That's
Shawn Michaels could totally come back though. I mean, he doesn't look like the same Shawn Michaels though.
He could
No.
do it though.
His eyes are getting worse and worse. So,
You saw Ric Flair wants to have another match. I
No.
say let him go,
God,
baby. Let
no.
him go. Fuck
No.
it. What do we have to lose at this point?
Ric Flair's not going to stop until he actually dies in the ring.
Yeah, that's I
That's
think
what he
that's his
wants.
goal, really.
Yeah.
He's gonna blade
75
himself
years
too
old.
hard.
Yeah.
He's gonna do a bad blade job and bleed out.
He's gonna do that over the top rope thing and break his fucking spine. I think that's gonna happen to him.
He gets trashed, man. I don't know if you saw him on there's that podcast called Kill Tony,
Yeah.
where they're like
Oh yeah.
it's a bunch of comedians and open micers perform for a minute, and the comedians make fun of him and give him advice. And they had like Ric Flair there, and he was tore up drunk. And I guess he didn't realize the whole point of the show was to make fun of these people. And he's like, I'm leaving. I'm here to have fun, not make fun. And he just stumbled off stage like 20
There
minutes
was
in.
another one too. What was the show he did, Wes, where he was like completely fucking hammered
It was the
recently?
he did like a Chris Van Vliet podcast. And the beginning of it, like you could tell he's hiring a fucking kite or something. I don't know what the hell.
I
Like,
think
he
he's got a
looked totally
cannabis
fucked
business
up.
now.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
I think isn't he running a company with Mike Tyson too?
Yeah.
Don't they have a company together? That's so killer. Fucking Ric Flair and Mike Tyson.
That'd be a room. That'd be a conversation to be in right there.
But yeah, I mean, one of my favorite like pastimes when I'm at work just to listen to shit is some of those wrestling interviews. And they did like Theo Vaughn did Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan, and then Chris Van Vliet did Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan. I don't know if what they were promoting. It must have been,
Weed.
Flair's weed and
Yeah.
Hogan's beat shop or whatever.
Hogan's got a weed company too. I just saw that when he was on
Yes,
Rogan. Everybody's got one.
He's Lord that
Uh,
so odd.
you say you watched wrestling interviews. I hope you don't watch that terrible ass idiot Hannibal. That
No, I
does
can't
the
stand
worst
him.
fucking
Nobody
interviews
watches
ever.
that guy.
That guy was talking about like trying to kill himself or something on a stream. Did you see that one?
Oh God.
He goes, I'd like to thank all people for your prayers and all that. I was in the hospital and I tried to stab my throat.
That's a pretty good impression, actually.
Sounds like Mormo.
And I almost bled out and died.
It does sound like Mormo.
The Mormon impression. No, it's-
That dude
Oh,
sucks,
man.
man. It is like
Which one,
You cannot-
Hannibal or Mormo? I think Hannibal's worse than Mormo. I
no.
actually could watch Mormo.
You could not be shittier at your job than Hannibal is at doing a fucking entertaining interview. He's like Stanley Weater, as far as
He is.
vacuum of charisma.
Are you a dark dreamer?
Guy's
What the
fucking-
crap,
He's a piece
dude?
of shit too. Did you see that crap where he like basically killed that referee or tried to? Like,
Who, Stanley Weater?
yes. Stanley Rowe. beat the shit out of a referee. It was like,
It's
you know,
still
I'm
real to me,
three
damn it.
under.
I'm going to get you in the wee otter driver. I'm going to break your fucking neck.
The We Oughta Clobber.
Oh shit! Anybody else got anything though? This has been a fun show.
Well, I'd like to ask everybody shared what they've been watching, but does anybody have anything that they're saving for the big night?
Oh, hell yeah.
I got one.
Mhm.
Well, actually, a few. So
Here
this
we go.
is
Mark's
one.
gonna pull out a fucking bus. It's about 6 feet tall and like hold it up.
Those things are so
Painted
fucking
by
heavy. No.
Da Vinci's cousin.
This is CK. You talked about this one recently.
Yeah,
Oh,
Bill needs to watch it.
Yeah, man, that's
Uncle
one I
Bill.
need to check out too, man.
Please watch this on Halloween.
Haunt?
It's fucking great. Yeah,
Just
I
don't
haven't
don't
seen
let your
that.
kids watch it with you. They probably wouldn't appreciate it.
You don't
It's
think?
got clowns in it.
Is it?
Somebody
What
else
is
can
it? A
get it.
slasher? I haven't seen it.
it's a slasher movie set on Halloween in like a haunted house with guys that are wearing clown masks. But well, I won't give away that part.
Yeah.
There's something else, but
They're
It's
actual
brutal and
clowns.
badass though.
They tear the
Yeah.
masks off. And
If you like Terrifier too, I mean, I think that's along the same lines, really.
Cool.
yeah, it's I think it was released to direct to Shudder in like 2019, and it was like the top streamed movie that year. But I suggest everybody check it out. It's really, really good.
Dude.
And
Awesome.
I don't dig a lot of newer stuff anyway, but this one's really good. And these are obvious picks. I mean, you guys are probably going to watch these anyway. The Night of the Demons 1 and 2. I mean, these are every year. I
You
gotta
got the
pull 'em
alternate
out.
slips too.
Oh yeah, it actually looks pretty cool too. Check out Angela.
Oh shit! Speaking, can I say something here for a second?
Yeah.
Recently, like the same day as what was it? The Hollywood show when I met Christina Ricci, like last weekend or whatever it was. I went down to Dark Delicacies. It was in the same little area, and they're having a signing there for Night of the Demons 1 and 3, and Kevin Tenney and a couple of other people were there.
Happy birthday, Kevin Tenney. It's his birthday today, by the way.
Yeah, happy
Yeah.
birthday,
Ooh,
fucker. But he he was there. There's probably like maybe 20, 30 people there for the signing or whatever. I know all you have to do is buy a Blu-ray or the 4K to get it signed. And sometimes people bring like an extra thing to get signed, an extra item or something like that to get signed. And he was charging people at Dark Delicacies for the extra item, and that's like, okay, whatever. People do that, but he was making up the prices as he was going.
Wow.
Like, you know what I mean? There was no nothing on his table saying, okay, that'll be $20. Like, he told my friend that had like a Scream Factory like poster that comes with it or whatever of the Blu-ray, and he's like, okay, 40, that'll be 40. No, wait, okay, fine, 30, okay, 30. And then like, what the fuck? And then like my other
It's
friend,
like a flea market.
Who's doing
one of
this?
those things. And then like I had my little one of my little movie clapboards, little like things that get signed or whatever. And he was like, okay, 10. I'm like, okay, cool. Could you write Night of the Demons? Could you write Night of the Demons then your autograph? He's like, oh, that's a lot of work. That's gonna be $20. I'm like,
I'd be like, buddy, fuck you, seriously.
Yeah,
that's what he said. He's like, that's a lot of writing. I'm like, that's gonna be $20 now. I'm like, well, just do it. And God damn it, dude, what the,
Who was
Yeah,
doing this?
that shit pissed me off.
Kevin Tenney is what he's talking about.
Kevin Tenney? Really?
But listen, I
Yeah.
love Kevin Tenney, but if Kevin Tenney was like, I'm gonna charge you the extra $10 to write Night of the Demons, I'd be like, buddy, you're fucking out of your mind.
Yeah.
Like, you go make Pinocchio's Revenge and shut the fuck up.
No, like the thing is, I never had a problem with him. It was just like how he was, charging making up prices as he was going for the extra item people were bringing.
So
Like, someone got a poster signed for $5. My
Kevin-
other friend had to pay $20. I'm like, the fuck's going on?
here's and this is just telling you how things have changed, right? So Friday Night Film Fest in 2007, Kevin Tenney was at our table that entire Saturday signing shit for free.
Yeah,
He didn't fucking charge a thing.
yeah.
Everybody that was coming up there, no. So I don't
He
know.
turned his back on the fans.
He did. He lost his smile.
He
Son of
lost
a
his
bitch.
smile.
Bro, you gotta keep in mind, this is not a convention. This was just a random like DVD signing over there. You know what I'm saying? Like one extra item, you're gonna be like, it's okay if you say $20. Say $20 a lot. The whole for everybody. Don't be
No,
like,
that's what they're.
25,
That's the new thing, though, man. It's like apparently the new thing is like the more you write, the more you make. So it's
Yeah.
like You write a quote, that's extra $20. You write your name.
$5 later, boys.
The writers are on strike, so they got to make the money somehow.
But the sad thing is, to me, is in my mind, I'm
That's
like,
scab work. He's charging a lot of money for it. So
yeah. I don't know. But the sad thing is, there was like maybe max 30 people in that whole fucking place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Damn.
So how much did you end up spending overall?
I bought the Blu-ray of Part 3 because Scream Factory sent me 1 and 2.
Mhm.
To talk about for the videos. So I bought Part 3 over there at Darkdale. And so I bought, that was 30, and I gave him 20 to sign my fucking clapboard like a dumbass.
Give it 20.
Give it to the fucker.
and guess what?
Like I said,
He's
he-
gonna do it
Like
next
$10,
time. too.
no, wait, 20 now.
That's right.
My idea, though, the only thing that I've got down for sure for Halloween night would be Frankenstein in 4K. I want to make Sarah watch it with me. Maybe the
Ooh,
closer
Yeah.
for Halloween night.
I think like Bride is a little more accessible. She might like that a little more.
Well, that's the sequel, though, man. She's got to watch the original
true,
first.
Yeah. Bride is the most ambitious one.
Mhm.
I got 2 real quick, or 3 actually. I'm just going to mention real quick. The Funhouse, one of my all-time favorites. I actually think the first half is way better than the second half, even though I do like the second half, and I think Gunther's a cool killer. The atmosphere in the first half of this movie. If
You just
you've
like
ever been in one,
the Gypsy
you ever
Jacket.
been in one of those? Yeah, that
Gypsy
mean,
jacket.
it doesn't get better than that. It's a hell of a scene.
It's a
Get
jacket
jacked off
on
by a
gypsy.
Jizz on a
We had the
gypsy.
same idea. It's amazing.
Get jacked off
you
by
ever-
a gypsy.
If you ever been to one of those shitty carnivals before, this gets the
I just went to
atmosphere out.
I just went to one last week. Yeah.
There's just so much weird shit happening that's uneasy. That's
Mm-hmm.
really unique from most 80s slashers.
It does have a weird atmosphere, yeah.
They
With the
had
deformed animals and shit. It's just weird.
at this carnival down here too. It was kind of funny because they had one of those like haunted houses kind of things, and like it reminded me of that movie. I was like, it's so generic looking and kind of shitty looking, and I was just
It's a lot of
immediately
meth
taking
heads.
it.
There's a lot of meth heads and people in Narcotics Anonymous working there. You know, like people that are in recovery and shit. Like
I'm not sure how many of these people were in recovery, if I'm being honest. I think they were still
they're off
pretty
the
active.
wagon.
Yeah.
Off
They're
the
committed.
wagon. I gotta put this movie over. It's probably the most beautiful horror movie ever made. It's slow. It's not for everybody, but I love it. And that's Werner Herzog's Nosferatu remake.
Mhm.
Great. It's a good one to like. Kind of just put on to kind of
Fucking
ease
Klaus
out.
Kinski's crazy ass.
Oh,
Dude, we
yeah.
went down a rabbit hole of videos of Klaus Kinski
He's
on
obviously
YouTube.
fucking bored.
Holy shit!
Yes.
Great
Wow.
soundtrack.
Oh yeah, it's just a beautifully shot movie. You look at it and it's like incredible. And then of course, it's not Halloween without some Fulci, and you got City of the Living Dead right here.
Love that movie.
Oh, you want to talk
Can't
about
beat that
atmosphere?
edition.
Mhm.
There's never been a movie that has more scary establishing shots. Just the establishing shots of houses at night with that fog around it, illuminating.
Yeah. The soundtrack is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, the girl puking up her guts is just wow.
That's the thing.
Can't get better.
I've got a complete aversion to worms and maggots, and I fucking love Fulci, but Jesus Christ, I hate that so much. Every time I gotta be like,
Well, he
Jesus,
was
yeah.
really into that.
Oh yeah, he was.
Puking up her guts in anatomically correct order as well. Like-
You know what though? As hardcore as Fulci was, he still never had a zombie eat a unborn baby out of a woman's belly. So,
But you know who did, don't you?
Joe
Joe
D'Amato.
D'Amato.
Yeah. Are you doing another tours to Italy? If so, if you're doing a Joe D'Amato episode, I'm just going to tell you right now, I can't do it. I just can't do it again. What was that shitty shark? What was that shitty shark movie we watched? That was like
Tiger blood or something like that, or is that
Tiger
like a flavor of, is that like a flavor of ice cream? I don't know. It was something
probably
like
one of
that. Deep blood. Deep blood.
Deep Blood.
Yeah.
First blood.
That was one of the worst movies I've ever fucking
It
seen.
was fucking awful.
I do think
One thing. Oh,
Jeff mentions on here, and I think this is a perfect like introduction to Italian horror, City of the Living Dead,
mhm,
because it was
Yeah.
my introduction, really.
definitely.
Yeah,
very
So-
very accessible for sure for that style of film.
the transfer on that thing too. I don't know if you guys have seen that 4K. Holy shit, I couldn't believe it.
It's
Yeah,
incredible.
it really is.
Yeah, insane.
Quick question. Going back to the carnivals and all that, did anybody see Guillermo del Toro's Nightmare Alley?
Mm-mm.
That's
Mhm.
it's definitely got some horror elements as all of his stuff does, but that is a great carny movie.
I heard he's remaking Frankenstein.
Yeah,
And they have like a pretty loaded cast so far.
yeah, they really do. Yeah,
I like real
Wait,
quick.
did he
note,
do-
I liked his Pinocchio that he did for Netflix.
Yeah.
I
really
that a
like
lot.
him a lot. He's one of my favorites.
Did he was he the one that did the Wolfman?
No.
No,
No, you're
No.
thinking
that was
because
Benicio del Toro.
Benicio del Toro acted
That's
in
his
it.
brother.
Guillermo
Okay.
del Toro's
All
the
right.
Pan's
There
Labyrinth,
you go.
Hellboy, all that stuff.
I was gonna say because whoever did that is a
Boy,
piece
too.
of shit. So
Yeah.
like,
Well, part of
Benicio
that I
del
do
Toro.
wonder about
Wait.
that movie though, because they hired Rick Baker and he did all these practical effects, and then the studio fucking forced CGI, and it's
Mhm.
and I think when you're making this movie, you're just like, fuck it, I don't even care anymore. The director probably was just bogged down by studio bullshit.
He
I
was
do
on,
wonder what that could have been like.
Rick Baker did a Joe Rogan interview, and he said that movie put him in retirement. He was just like,
Oh,
"Fuck
yeah.
this."
Yeah,
He's like, I'm
I
too
remember
old for
hearing
this
there
shit."
was a
Yeah.
lot of studio
Yeah.
interference, and everybody was pretty much frustrated on set because they kept changing things.
Not that the Academy Awards are the end all be all, but they fucking invented that special makeup effects award because of American Werewolf in London. And you've got Rick Baker, he's a fucking the legend of creature effects, like of all the living guys anyway. And it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like, fuck. Like just such an insult.
I watched Videodrome recently, and his effects still amazing in that movie. The pulsating Betamax and
Mhm.
Yeah, Rick Baker was amazing. He was definitely one of my heroes when I was growing up. I always wanted to be a special effects man, but latex was too much money back then. I was like, fuck, I'll never get my hands on
You
this.
can get liquid latex at Walmart now,
I
Bulls.
know,
Halloween.
isn't
It's
that
so
crazy?
crazy.
Do you guys think that's making a comeback? The practical effects with movies like Terrifier and the stuff Brandon
Seems to
Cronenberg's
be,
doing.
yeah.
I hope
I think
so.
so.
Yeah.
That's the thing that always killed me about all those Romero later zombie movies is it's
Yep.
like, do you have any idea the people that would have paid him to do practical effects just to be able to say they did practical effects on a zombie movie of Romero's? Instead they got like even the
Well,
squibs are just CGI, and
if
it's just like,
if you look at Land of the Dead and Diary of the Dead and Survival of the Dead, like it's all just CG bullshit.
Yeah.
That's the biggest part of the problem
and they
with those movies, really.
they weren't great then, but they're even worse now.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just poof.
Haddonfield Slasher is asking if we have ever considered doing a once-a-year Dead Pit Fest or a live show with movies and a live podcast and all that.
We
Talked
kind of used to
about it.
do that, but we yeah.
Yeah, that was
Man.
the Fright Night Film Fest thing every year that we would do for a while, and now nobody. I mean, I don't want to badmouth it, but nobody goes to that show anymore, really.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of like Scarefest just took over in terms of that's the show in Kentucky now.
Yeah. And it's just too big. Like the convention thing that's at a damn convention center. That's at Rupp Arena. It's gigantic. And I mean, I like Scarefest. We always had fun at Scarefest, but that was just never like that. To me, that's not a convention atmosphere like I liked back in the day. You know?
It's a money racket atmosphere, though. It's for
Give
sure
me
that.
money, motherfucker. You want me to write to you? That's an extra $80.
You want me to write your name? That's $50.
You guys should have the show and then just charge randomly for signatures.
I'll
We
be
need
like, let me walk up to him back. Yeah, can you write? I want you to eat my hot ass on this one for me.
Yeah.
How much would that be?
Go around trolling the convention.
But guys, it's been a fun show. Anybody else got anything you wanted to mention on here while we're on here? We usually keep these things at 2 hours, but if you guys got something else, let's go.
You guys were talking about 4Ks, and I just got these in. Hold on.
There'll be 50 of them. Here you
The House box set.
What the fuck?
Which
It's
one's that?
It's a
go.
4K.
It's from Germany.
Well, yeah,
You
it's,
know it
From
is.
Guatemala.
it's made out of wood
It's
and leather.
Holy
Damn.
shit!
Fucking
Really?
sweet.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of them yet, but They look really sweet in these media
I
books.
wonder you need a 3,000 square foot house, Mark. God damn, buddy, buying all this shit.
Hey, is that box set made out of the tears of a Venezuelan child?
Possibly.
That's
Yeah.
what
I was going to ask if it was made out of the actual house.
Yeah, these are. I mean, I'm not a big fan of part 4, but like this cover is like killer.
I love house.
How much
too.
was that shit, Mark?
How much was it?
Yeah.
At the time that I got it, it was like 150. But
Oh,
now
Jesus.
it's
So you can buy all of this one, right?
you can't get it anymore.
Oh no, you can find a way. You can buy all of us one.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
will.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
send me your address after this. I'll
All right,
get it
all right.
right to you.
You got it.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure these will get released on 4K here. I'm a big fan of the first one because like that was a blind buy for me as a kid. I bought the VHS and was pleasantly surprised. But the second one too, I'm a big fan of watching stuff on Halloween that actually has a Halloween party or some kind of Halloween setting. And I'm pretty sure that the second film ends with like a Halloween party in the last act. So yeah, I can't wait to check these out.
I mean, I'll say it before. I'll say it again, Mark. 2 words for the second one: caterpillar dog. That's all you need.
That thing is so killer.
It
yeah.
really is.
I always wanted a caterpillar dog when I was a kid.
But I do have one thing here
We got
that everyone that's watching the live show should have in their collection already. If you guys are real true physical media collectors, you might want to have a single shot here, Wes.
let's
Right here,
get it
everyone
ready
needs
here.
this. Everyone needs this in their collection.
You gonna show your fleshlight?
Here it goes.
Someone sent me one of those.
Uncle Bill did.
Was it used?
Yeah.
I smelled it. It smelled like, it smelled like Uncle Bill's ass. But the DVD that everyone needs in their collection, you can buy it right now through Dead Pit on Patreon.com. It is Into the Pit, baby.
Exactly.
Holy
You
shit.
gotta watch this shit on Halloween every year. It's about two nerds that love each other, that almost have sex with one another, but they just talk about horror and walking across creeks and shit. It's pretty much about a young boy with glasses that's a nerd that loves horror, that
Who loves tap dance. Don't forget, he was born to tap dance.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
We'll get it at Deadpit on Patreon.com. And what other sites that have it?
Grindhousevideo.com and orbitdvd.com.
Yeah,
We're looking for other locations to carry it, but yeah, those two are the only ones.
You know, you can watch it at Halloween, but you can also watch it any time of the year, really.
Thank you. We'll
watch it multiple times a day for that matter.
Yeah.
I was just looking through my phone and I found these pictures from I can never remember if it's A Night We Met or not. I don't know, but it was the premiere screening and it wasn't even the final cut at Fright Night.
Oh yeah.
And I think we met the year before that actually. But
was it the one Joe was at and everything?
Yeah,
like,
I was sitting right next to Joe. It was the first time I met Joe. But I remember Q&A and I said to you guys, you two are so fucking lucky they didn't find any dead little kids in your town, because you guys would have fucking went to jail just like the Tennessee. It was like, holy shit, yeah, the West Memphis.
Instead of listening to Metallica, we listen to Saxon and King Crimson or King Diamond.
King Crimson.
Not
King Crimson will be fucking killer.
Big fan of
We're
prog rock down there.
We're into
Creed.
Budgie and Creed and Wasp and John Anderson. All right, guys. Also, hey, check this out. I want to pimp something real quick. We got a couple of these left. Embroidered Halloween colored Dead Pit caps that glow in the fucking dark, boys. They glow in the dark. I want to be Don West. You remember Don West? R.I.P. Sir.
R.I.P.
We got these in Dead Pit colors and the spooky season glow in the dark.
The Dead Pit colors don't glow though, right?
Limited edition. That was with Don West's catchphrase.
The spooky orange and black attack glow in the dark. But they do.
Dead Pit colors don't run either, just so you know.
Yeah,
that's right.
But boys, it's been fun. Brandon, we appreciate you joining us on here, man. Thank you for taking the time out. I know you're working a lot more lately.
Yes, sir. Full-time
And,
job and shit. I'm only off Sundays and Mondays unless I'm covering for someone.
We appreciate you spending the time with us and everything. It's always good catching up with you. And
sorry, I wasn't chatting the whole time. I was trying to be quiet,
it's tough when you got this many people on here, but always been very supportive of us, and we appreciate it and everything. And keep up the great work. Any other videos you got coming out in the next little bit that you want to mention on here?
I just uploaded a new video when I went to Son of Monsterpalooza. Got to talk to Ola Ray, the chick from the Michael Jackson Thriller video for a minute or two. And it was kind of cool, man. Got to see Sam Raimi for a second. I have a video I'm going to try to do going to the John Carpenter event that's happening on the 22nd. I already have my ticket to go, but it's like a quick little thing. But we'll see what kind of video I can make out of that one.
How many Carpenter signatures do you have? It seems like you see him a lot.
I see him once a year. Mm-hmm. I'm always able to get one of those tickets real quick, but I have to buy his book or whatever, the comic book or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah. But it's kind of cool though. You buy the book for like $40-$50, then he signs it and other creators sign it, and then you bring one extra item, he'll sign it for you too.
Yeah, he used to sign through the mail for free.
Oh yeah, if you see him at a con, it's $125 fucking
back in the day. Like I've got a couple of 8x10s that he sent through the mail still. And
I met him here at Jack White's record store in Detroit, Yellow Man Records. And it was crazy. Like there was the night before his concert, which he played this beautiful old abandoned church in Detroit. And it was just foggy. It was the best fucking thing ever. But yeah, he was like just grumpy.
Pretty ran out of weed.
Yeah, he was sitting there like they had these cheesy gimmick. It was like these yellow Polaroid pictures because of the Yellow Man Records thing. And the girl's camera shoot, or was it Third Man Records? I always say it's Yellow Man Records because of the fucking pictures. I thought that's what it was.
It is a yellow logo.
Yeah. So Third Man Records, sorry, but the camera like ran out of film right when I'm like sitting there with John Carpenter, and the girl's trying to change it, and he's yelling at her while she's doing it. And I'm like sitting there so awkwardly, like this sucks so much.
Yeah.
And then when I met Nick Castle and had him sign the same thing, he goes, "Who's the grumpy fucker that scribbled on this?" I was like, "Yeah."
He knows.
Yep.
So any other guys got anything you wanted to mention on here? I know I don't think Matt, you still not doing a YouTube thing or anything, are you?
No, I'm like I'm too lazy right now, I think, and I just don't have like the setup yet for something like that. Maybe someday. I mean, I would want to have a mic and a nicer camera.
Hey man, if my retarded ass can do it, anybody can do it.
I could do it. I don't know. I just feel like so many other people do things much better, and I'm kind of like, what's the point sometimes?
Same. But, I feel exactly the same way.
Yeah, like I'm a big content watcher, but I don't know how well I'd do it. I mean, maybe we'll see. But I'm on Instagram a lot, so I post on there pretty frequently.
No, I know. We see the pictures of your feet and stuff. It's kind of weird, but okay.
How'd you know that, dude?
I don't know. Like Quentin Tarantino told me about your fucking.
Oh yeah.
The technology now, though, is that's the big difference. It's so easy to do this shit now compared to back in the day. You can essentially, like all the videos that I do, I edit on my damn phone.
True. Yeah.
It's a lot easier now. What about you, Mark? Well, you've always got something you're working on.
Yeah, I'll be doing a video on the Waxwork bust. I mean, this is the media book with the slip, but the bust is over there. I'm not going to grab it. It's too heavy. I'll be doing a video on this.
It's encased in marble.
It's all wax, so you got to like get the wax off of it to get to the Blu-ray underneath.
That thing is, it's not wax, it's jizz, but okay. Nerds.
Yeah, the 4K set of House, and this big thing right here. Well, it's not that big.
Whoa! How big is it?
Oh shit!
Don't get us kicked off of YouTube here.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. We all know Blacker's bigger, but damn.
Oh my god.
Look, I got something big to show you.
CK is gonna edit that part out. No, this Halloween wooden box set.
Where in the
Where's that?
fuck did that
How
even
many
come
editions of
from?
Halloween are there?
It's
Jeez.
What
got
is
a-
that?
It's a whole bunch of shit in here, and then it's got a
Where'd you
leather
get this
media
one, dude?
book.
You said it's made out of wood too.
Yeah, this one's made.
Where the fuck are you fucking?
Jesus
That's
Christ.
that one's from
These
Cosmos.
Germans with their wood shit.
Yeah.
They're just chopping down the Black Forest and making DVD.
German carpenters.
Yeah, it's so I have this one, and then I have the Crow set, and then I have an Evil
Wow.
Dead 2 one, which I'll probably do at some point.
You're gonna do the Crow set too, though, right? I'd love to see that.
That one's already up, actually.
Oh,
on
it's
my
up.
channel.
Cool. I'm gonna check
Yeah.
it out.
But yeah, this one has a bunch of stuff in the box. But this media book is really sweet because it's like a leather type material. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, I was gonna put this one up on Halloween, and the other
Wow.
two will be up in a few days.
What I like to do anytime I think about like the idea of FOMO or anything like that, or like getting caught up in that, I like to think about Mark, and just the idea that I will never have as much shit as him just keeps me from buying stuff. When
Yeah, why start?
yeah, I mean, you're not going to surpass him or anything. There's not. ever
Mark's
gonna
got like a German supplier that he deals with on a regular basis.
I have quite
Yeah.
a few actually.
be- Yep.
Some in the UK.
Most
as
of this
well,
shit that we don't even
all
know
over the
that's,
place.
that's out or whatever, he's got it. So
Mark
One in
has like
France, one in Italy.
addresses, like foreign addresses that he sends stuff to, and then they send it to him because they won't even ship to the U.S.
Mhm.
Yeah, I do. That's true.
Wow. That's
What a-
amazing.
Rob, when's the next CNXS podcast, man? I've been waiting on it for a while.
Yeah, I don't know. This semester of school is absolutely killing me.
You know what my favorite Saxon album is? It's Innocence is No Excuse. That's my favorite
Oh,
one.
man. Well, I'm definitely not innocent, so can't lay on that one. I don't know. We need to do it. We also need to get back with you and finish up the Phantasm series too.
Yeah.
We got to do that.
Yeah, we need to do that. We'll start on that next week.
And Aaron, when are you going to go back to doing the directors? I know you're doing the Italian horror, but you were going through some directors there for a while, and you didn't get
Well,
the Carpenter, which is the one I was looking forward to.
You
the
never
most.
did do Cronenberg either, did you?
No.
No, there's a bunch of possibilities of shit that I could do. I could never think of a name for the Cronenberg. It has to have a pun-like name, right, or some sort of catch name.
Cronenbergers. And make it
Yeah,
look
if
like
you're a
a
restaurant,
like
or
a
something,
fast
but
food restaurant.
not
or
for a
something.
fucking show. I could never figure out like what do you call it? You know,
Cronenberg's Corner.
You got to put that dick demon down and get back to work, buddy. Come on.
but the next thing will be that fucking to do the end of the tour of Italy, which will
Yep.
be Umberto Lenzi, and I think a couple people I know are going to do that too. If
Poopy
Carter
body.
wasn't out like huff and glue or whatever he's doing right now, I was going to ask him to do it too, but he dropped off.
I'll
to
do
go.
Lindsay.
You do Lindsay? All
Yeah.
right, well then we'll do it, Mark.
I'll do
All right.
Poopy Avati with you.
I know
if
I
you
know
need-
you're going to do poopy.
Let me know if you need graphics. I'll get them out to you.
Hey,
Definitely will.
guys, before we end this thing, I gotta say
Especially
something. I gotta say something to somebody in the live chat right here.
Oh,
Fuck
God.
you, Fonzie.
Uh-oh.
Eat a dick. God damn it.
What's he saying? I haven't even been looking.
No, he did some fucking shit. That's my boss from work.
Oh.
That bitch.
Yeah,
Oh,
Fonzie.
Hey, what movie can't come out here without somebody attacking?
Jesus Christ.
We
I thought
almost
Mailman
made it.
made
We
an appearance
almost
here.
made it.
That Fonzie bitch has 2 of these. He's getting 2 extra autographs. That fucking twat.
Oh wow.
He better be giving you a raise at work.
He better, son of a bitch.
All right, guys, but we appreciate everybody joining in on here. I'm sorry we didn't get with the chat because it's been very active and everything, but fuck, what else can we do, boys?
Yeah.
Next things we're doing, we got an Exorcist to Hell and Back, the Curse of the Exorcist franchise. That's the big show, I guess, that's coming up later on in the month. We got a sequelitis show. We got Halloween 4 commentary. We got Crazy Fat Ethel commentary. Can we get all this shit in, Uncle Bill, before November 1st?
No.
I think we
We're
can.
going to try.
We're gonna
Are
try.
you going to do the Halloween supercut reviews again or not this year?
I mean, that's up to the editor. If he's got time, we can.
The editor doesn't have a computer big enough to like, pack anything else on.
A tent.
Like,
We
when
need
I
a,
made that I literally
Somebody
had
that-
to like delete every app, every picture, everything off my computer and let it run. And it was like barely made it. And Wes is like, "Can you add another hour?"
Yeah,
No.
we're gonna
Nah,
try
I
to
can't do
review
that.
Halloween 2018 to make it more complete because we've never reviewed that, and then also include the Halloween 3 show that we did last year. So that would make it close to 10 hours. So
And the Halloween ends with
if anybody wants
me
to,
and Rambo.
that was already on there. I think
Oh,
that
that
was
is on
last
there.
year. Yeah.
Well,
So if
Halloween
anybody
4
wants to
Yeah.
tackle that,
Yeah, if there's anybody that has a big,
we'll do another
massive
Halloween.
computer.
Halloween mega show. So, but
There's no way to
Hey,
link them.
wait 1 second here. While Jerry L's in here, Jerry L, where the fuck is my dick demon?
It's up his ass.
You been-
Is Jerry
I
L the
mean,
same? I thought that was Jerry V.
was it Jerry V?
Yeah.
I thought Jerry L was the same as Jerry V, but Jerry, what the fuck happened to Jerry V? So did he just like promise to get my dick demon and then it just disappeared?
Well, people do that.
That's a common thing.
He
you know,
changed
they
his
promise
name.
you dick demon and then they leave town.
Yeah. He ain't gonna give you no free dick, demon.
No,
Wow.
nothing's for free, especially not dick demons.
All right. But
You later find them on Ancestry.com, track them down.
Mhm.
you all have a
Not
good
me,
night now.
buddy.
It's
Well,
not
listen,
him.
if you find a random dick demon laying around Jerry L, you let me know just in case.
It's the wrong jury.
Find the right Jerry, I'm gonna get up his ass with a dick demon.
Ooh.
We'll catch you guys next time over at Dead Pit.
.com.
Give us a
Motherfucker.
thumbs up.
Adios.
Like, subscribe, and if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that Dead Pit puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a fuck.
I want you to. I want you to.
I don't care.
Let's keep our community growing here on
I
YouTube.
don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that.
No, don't you
Yeah.
dare touch it.
Thumbs up. Subscribe. And click that bell.
There's all kinds of wonderful shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. You can get some Dead Pit radio shirts. You can get Last South on the left. The Hills Have Eyes. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you can't say Texas Chainsaw. All kinds of shirts, folks. You're gonna love them. Shop.deadpit.com.
Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. Dead Pit on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows, fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.